Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. I am Nanatufo Boateng. It's an absolute pleasure coming your way this Wednesday morning with the best breakfast on television. As you've seen me flipping through the newspapers, there's a lot to chew on this morning, so please stay with us throughout the entire show. I just chanced upon the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, a story that says, stalled road projects due to debt. Roads and Highways Minister. Stalled road projects are due to debt, and it's attributed to the Roads and Highways Minister. And I'm zooming in on this particular story because over the weekend I was in the Ashanti region, and I tell you that we have failed as a state, we have failed as a country, because if you see the volume of commute, the volume of transport on the Accra-Kumasi road, and over the years we have not been able to fix this road. Clearly, we have failed. How is it that you are traveling from Accra to Kumasi and you are driving for more than 8 hours? Somebody help me understand this. There's no wisdom in this. And this is not about Party A or Party B. Successive governments have failed us. And we need to be bold enough to tell them in the face that, listen, your inability to complete the Accra-Kumasi highway is a total failure on your part, irrespective of which party brought you to power. So this is a state failure. And we need to do better. That a major highway, look at the volume of commute, people moving to and fro, Accra Kumasi on a daily. It worsens even on the weekends. And we're unable to fix this road. Look at Ofanko, Pokuasi, and Sawam. Oh my God. You are doing about 2.5 hours in traffic just on that stretch alone. And then you get to a portion, there's traffic or there's an accident, and then there's a diversion. You have to go all the way through Chebi Township to cut. Oh, Lord. Why do we make it difficult for us to live in this country? And then we wear the suit and tie like I'm wearing this morning, go and sit in some big office, go and sit in some meeting, collect the alawa and the per diem, go and chop, and that's it. We should be ashamed of ourselves as a people. That you're traveling from Accra to Kumasi and you're driving for more than 8 hours. Help make this make sense to me. I don't get it. Shalom. Let's say thank you to everyone that came through to support us at the Agri Fair 2025. We're super grateful to you. We say God bless you and replenish your stock. Couldn't have been possible without you. We are eternally grateful to you. This was a maiden edition, and you guys contributed to make it a huge success, and we are grateful to you. Thank you so much for coming. The Agri Fair was major. All our patrons, all our participants, exhibitors, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you for being part of the Agri Fair. The clinics were amazing. Those of you that participated in the clinics, we hope that you were able to take some nuggets home to help you in your quest to venture into agriculture or even to grow your agri-business. Thank you so much. Let's say thank you to our sponsors this morning. We want to say thank you to the Ghana Exim Bank. Thank you to the Legacy Crop Improvement Center, LCIC. Thank you to Development Bank Ghana, DBG. Thank you to Agri Impact Limited. Thank you to the Horticulture Business Platform. Thank you to TWI, Twellium Industries, and thank you to our technology partners, Pharma Line, for helping us put together this wonderful, wonderful event. We're grateful to you, our sponsors, exhibitors, vendors, and patrons. You guys are amazing. You guys are the real MVPs, and we say thank you. Hopefully, we call on you again, you respond to our call, and we're able to put together another huge event for the consuming public out there. Thank you so much. Let's also have you informed or keep you informed that the City Business Festival is ongoing. We're going all the way to the 30th of June. The entire month we've dedicated it to growing businesses, sharing innovations, sharing ideas, sharing technologies with our viewers and of course our listeners on 97.3 City FM. And so we've had on-air series throughout the entire month, carefully selected specific topics and brought in industry experts to speak to these topics to help you grow and nurture your business. This morning, we're going to have an on-air series as well. There's one that's going to come your way this morning on digital skills needed to survive in today's economy. Digital skills are needed to survive in today's economy. And Maximus Ametogo, a digital strategist, will be speaking to us on that. We'll be live on radio 97.3 City FM at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. here on Channel 1 Television. So do make a date, record the time, and do your best to tune in. You can do that while driving by listening to us on 97.3 City FM. And of course, if you're home, in the office, or wherever you may find yourself stable or stationed, you can tune in to Channel 1 Television for that on-air series on digital skills needed to survive in today's economy. And Maximus Ametogo will be speaking to this particular subject. Let's say thank you to Absa Bank for sponsoring the City Business Festival 2025. Thank you to MTN Business for being a part of the City Business Festival. And thank you to Zonda Tech Ghana Limited for also sponsoring the City Business Festival. Like I said, we are going all the way till the final day of June. That's the 30th. We started from the 1st, and the entire idea is to help you grow, nurture, expand, of course, your business. And so we're sharing nuggets throughout the entire month, and we hope that you find time to be a part of it. Once again, thank you to APSA, thank you to MTN, thank you to Zonda Tech. We're super grateful to you for being a part of the City Business Festival. It's time to get into the newspapers. Check out what the newspapers are saying this morning. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic. Front page has the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. There's Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, the special aide to the President, and other government officials who clearly are being introduced to the King Mswati III, the leader of the Kingdom of Eswatini. We know that he's on a visit to the motherland, and the President had a meeting with him yesterday. So the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning that Africa needs more internal trade. King Mswati espouses at Ghana visit. Africa needs more internal trade. King Mswati espouses at Ghana visits. Parliament approves President's 7 nominees to Supreme Court. Parliament approves President's 7 nominees to Supreme Court. Italy converts 70% Ghana debts to grants. Italy converts 70% Ghana debts to grants. NPP's flag bearer election timeline sparks controversy. Ayikwe Otu weighs in. NPP flag bearer election timeline sparks controversy. Ayikwe Otu weighs in. And then when you go into the back page, Kids and Diabetes in Schools program launched. Kids and Diabetes in Schools program launched. And then you have the story I spoke to earlier on stalled road projects due to debt. Roads and Highways Minister. That's Gavin Sagboja speaking there. Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times, also capturing that historic visit of King Mswati in a hearty handshake with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic. And the story says King Mswati III begins historic visit to Ghana. King Mswati III begins historic visit to Ghana. NIA workers lay down tools over operational support allowance. NIA workers lay down tools over operational support allowance. Increasing infertility rate in developing countries worrying. This is Dr. Hiaji speaking there. Increasing infertility rate in developing countries worrying. Dr. Hiaji. And then you have 70,000 Ghanaian migrants use illegal pathways to greener pastures in 2023. That's attributed to the Labour Minister. 70,000 Ghanaian migrants use illegal pathways to greener pastures in 2023. That's the Labour Minister speaking there. When you go onto the back page, 90,000 Borigo residents enjoy 2.5 million CD water expansion project. And then you have Wole Soyinka's iconic Death and the King's Horseman play to be staged August. All right, that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning. Let me take you to the Chronicle. Heavy on politics, as expected. Brian Achampong, I'll start with Almighty God and finish with him. I'll start with Almighty God and finish with him. That's Brian Achampong speaking there. Then when you go to the top right-hand corner, it says 3 pillars of Brian Achampong for Ghana's transformation. 3 pillars of Brian Achampong for Ghana's transformation. Then we want Educhum as NPP flag bearer. Kumasi traders tell delegates. We want Educhum as NPP flag bearer. Kumasi traders tell delegates. Then our scripture for the day is taken from the book of Proverbs, the chapter number 3, the verse number 4. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man. I'll take you to the back page where we have sports. In today's FIFA 2025 Club World Cup previews, Dortmund aim to avoid an upset against Ulsan HD. Sundowns in a must-win game against Fluminense. Ball bounces like a rabbit. Luis Enrique on pitches. Luis Enrique, that's the coach of Paris Saint-Germain. He's not happy with the way the pitches in the US are. He says the ball is bouncing like a rabbit. Chelsea's Jackson given 2-game ban for red card. That's Nicholas Jackson, striker for the Blues. He's been given a red card and it comes with a 2-game ban. So that's it for the Chronicle newspaper. Let's go to the Daily Guide. Front page of the Daily Guide says, remove COP retired Kofi Boakye from police council. Okay, when you get a copy of the paper, you know who is saying this and why this person is saying this. It says, remove COP retired Kofi Boakye from police council. NPP flag bearer race. Kumasi traders endorse fresh face Educhum. NPP flag bearer race. Kumasi traders endorse fresh face Educhum. Eswatini, Ghana strengthen ties. Eswatini and Ghana strengthen ties. Then you have Presby moderator fortifies Brian Achampong. Presby moderator fortifies Brian Achampong. And there's a sad one here that says 3 students killed in Winneba Road crash. It's okay. That's the Daily Guide newspaper this morning. Let me take you to the news center. Let's check out what the news center is saying. A lot of interesting pictures on the front page this morning. NIA staff declare indefinite strike over unpaid allowances. NIA staff declare indefinite strike over unpaid allowances. Then on one end, you have pictures of Dr. Yawase Educhum, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, Dr. Brian Achampong, Kennedy Ejapong, and Kwabna Ejapong. And the story says, NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls to ease tensions. NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls to ease tensions. NPA's actions caused a $40 million loss to us. That's the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors speaking. NPA's actions caused $40 million loss to us. Then you have 1.8 billion cedis paid for public lighting, but street lights, traffic lights don't function. You see the thing I've been complaining about. 1.8 billion Ghana cedis has been paid for public lighting, but street lights, traffic lights don't function. The street lights in your neighborhood, on the road to your house, do they function? The traffic lights, are they functioning? But we are being told, as reported by the news center this morning, that 1.8 billion Ghana cedis has been paid for public lighting. And when we say we have failed as a state, you people want to come for us. Come, we are waiting. Mahama Supreme Court picks cleared after stormy debate. Mahama Supreme Court picks cleared after stormy debate. That's it for the front page of the news center. It's got a number of other stories, mostly business stories on the back page. So go grab a copy of the news center and you can get the details there. All right, let me take you to the Herald. The Herald newspaper this morning says Kevin Ochre and partners run from $94 million fraud accusation As Swiss firm petitions Yoko, Springfield denies claims. Kevin Ochery and partners run from $94 million fraud accusation as Swiss firm petitions Yoko, Springfield denies claims. OSP detains 2 ex-GRA gurus over SML deal. OSP detains 2 ex-GRA gurus over SML deal. Police investigates Kaswa mystery death after fire service help. Police investigates Kaswa mystery death after fire service help. Alima Mahama defends fake websites, extortion and bribery at Ghana's embassy in America. Alima Mahama defends fake websites, extortion and bribery at Ghana's embassy in America. Minority demands reinstatement of injury time BOG staff. Injury time in inverted commas. Minority demands reinstatement of injury time BOG staff. That's the Herald newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher is here real quick. It says, restoring Songo Lagoon. Electrochem gets Ada Chief's backing. Remove Kofi Boakye from police council. Businesswoman urges Supreme Court. And NPP raise, Baumia pulls ahead. Then you have Patrick Boama donates to GPCC. That's the Ghanaian publisher. Let's go to the new publisher. New publisher says, 12-year-old boy hanged naked and tortured. We understand the police have picked up 2 persons allegedly involved in this act. There was a viral video that showed this little 12-year-old boy hanged and being whipped. We understand the accusation is that he's alleged to have stolen some 200 CDs or so. Hey, oh my Ghana. Minority vote against all 7 new justices to Supreme Court. Minority vote against all 7 new justices to Supreme Court. NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls. NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls. Schoolgirl dies while visiting Kaswa boyfriend. Schoolgirl dies while visiting Kaswa boyfriend. And Mahama pushes for July 1 holiday. Mahama pushes for July 1 holiday. The Informer says, stay off OSP SML investigation. Jampo cautioned. Stay off OSP SML investigation. Jampo cautioned. Bank robbery syndicate. Police grab 6 in Kumasi on manhunt for fugitive leader. Then you have Baumia's public image asset for NPP. It is attributed to a political analyst, our own Dr. Joshua Zato. Presidential ambition humbles Kene Japan, vows not to go ballistic again. And then you have resist urge to dismantle progress. That's Albert Jumfor, president of the Ghana Journalists Association. Daily Analyst, final one for today. NPP flag bearer race. It's not just money. Integrity counts. That's Osaiche Mensah Bonsu firing at Ken Ejapong. Says it's not just money, integrity counts. Osaiche Mensah Bonsu fires Ken Ejapong. COVID-19, University of Ghana records suspected and confirmed cases. We need to take the protocol seriously. Ken Mswati III of Eswatini arrives in Ghana for a 4-day tour visit. Police warns public against fake recruitment scam. I'm deeply impressed with Jumfor's work. George Sapon touts GJA president's achievements. Amiawa Kumfi's lawyers file motion to halt criminal trial. Amiawa Kumfi's lawyers file motion to halt criminal trial. All right, let's go online real quick. We'll start off with channel1news.com. What's channel1news.com saying this morning? So they're leading with politics, and this one says we'll win 2028 elections if we present Ken Japan. That's Rocky Obeng speaking, a former Western North Regional Minister and a member of Ken Japan's campaign team. On to some more stories. NDC Kunadu Ajimai Rawlings back National Day of Prayer. NDC Kunadu Ajimai Rawlings back National Day of Prayer. Then you have my family donated first NPP office property in our Wayne Suamai. That's Rocky Obeng speaking there again. He sat with Umaru Sanda Amadu on the face-to-face program here on Channel 1 TV. Let's get into some other stories. Economic pressures, contract breaches, reason for rising labor strikes. That's Trenebu Akodia speaking. He says economic pressures and contract breaches reason for rising labor strikes. In some other stories, TEU GH challenges GTech over TEU TUC recognition, cites lack of membership in key universities. TEU GH issues 7-day ultimatum to GTech over TEU TUC Governing Council directive. Parliament approves Supreme Court nominees amid minority objections. Prevent MT Marlin Ametrine from birthing outside authorized schedule. Seaboard to NPA. NPP summons presidential hopefuls, refers Bono Regional Chairman Abronye to disciplinary committee. Small-scale miners accuse government of targeted harassment and equipment seizures. Consider national interest and resume work. NIA appeals to striking staff. All right, let's go to citynewsroom.com. But before that, Brian Achampon declares bid for NPP flag bearer position. Brian Achampon declares bid for NPP flag bearer position. Citynewsroom.com. Former GRA boss, 2 others arrested over SML contracts. Former GRA boss, 2 others arrested over SML contracts. University administrators threaten strike over unresolved salary and allowance issues. Post-2024 dynamics favor Kene Japan over Baumia. That's Rocky Obeng speaking. Over 600 kilometers of Western North roads constructed under my tenure. Again, Rocky Obeng speaking. Akufo-Addo had faith in politically active youth. Akufo-Addo had faith in politically active youth. That's Rocky Obeng speaking again. TEU GH issues 7-day ultimatum to GTech over Governing Council directive. So you have details of these stories and a host of several others on our web portals. Go to channel1news.com as well as citynewsroom.com for all the details. Stay with us here. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. We'll be right back with the news review segment.
This June, the business wave is back and it's bigger than ever. The City Business Festival 2025 on City FM and Channel 1 TV, where it's all about business. This June, we will be celebrating Ghanaian businesses, re-examining our business modules and practices through our business fora, and sharing knowledge through our on-air business discussions. Make a business date with the on-air series every weekday at 9 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show on 97.3 City FM and 10 a.m. on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. From expert interviews to real-world insights to the tools you need to grow. Don't miss a single moment this June. It's the City Business Festival 2025, celebrating everything business. Only on City FM and Channel 1 TV. Your business, your future, your time is now. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and let's grow together. The City Business Festival 2025, celebrating everything business.
The City Business Festival 2025 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN Business, and Zonda Tech Ghana Limited.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of Black Stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
Welcome. It's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Football.
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, Play to Aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tang Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kuda as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So if you learn to one thing, you leave your shoes outside. Wow.
Tuesday, you know, I won't go to Ghana dressed in a Lacoste.
As director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Caleb Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Hello there. Thank you for choosing us. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. It's time now for the news review segment. The gentlemen are here. They are seated, and we're going to go straight into it. Let's do a quick introduction, and then we'll begin the conversations. To my immediate right, we have Engineer Michael Kosidede. We're seated. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Next to him, Hamza Suini. He's a member of the NDC's communications team. Good morning, Hamza.
Good morning, Nana.
Good to have you. Dennis Miracles Abuaje is the Director of Communications for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's 2024 campaign. Good morning, Dennis.
I don't know why you're so describing it. That campaign is over.
But that's what you
Oh,
were.
but it's past
So what are you now?
That one cry was just 4 months, 5 months.
So what are you now? A member of the campaign team?
I'm an MPP member.
MPP member?
Yes.
And a member of Dr. Bawumia's campaign
I mean,
team?
of course, I'm his aide. So...
My people, so let's correct that.
Yeah.
Aid to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
6 months.
He's now running away from that title. He knows what it does to NPP football.
So I'm saying that it's becoming almost like a lifetime.
Of course, but that was
Once you served, you served.
No. So you continue to serve in other capacities.
So now you are aid.
So why don't you say former MC for Ikiafio North?
Exactly.
Valid point. Or is it former presidential staff? Former Ikiafio North Youth Organization.
Well, that was the last position you held before opposition.
So now we are going to correct it. We are going
correct.
to use aid to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. My people, let's correct that. Aid to Dr. Bawumia. Anyway, gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Director of Communications.
Very well. You have conferred that on Hamza, you are conferring that on him.
Of course. Unless, of course, he's doubting the kind of work he did for Doc.
No.
I'm sure Doc appreciates his efforts.
He's doing diabolics.
He has started
the record. Keep it because of Hamza. Don't change it. I will not be happy if you change it. Keep it.
Very well. Well noted. We started this morning from Parliament because the House has approved all 7 Supreme Court nominees, but this was not without minority objection. There's a story on channel1news.com that says Parliament approves Supreme Court nominees amid minority objections. Parliament has approved the Supreme Court's nomination submitted by President John Mahama following a contentious debate and strong resistance from the minority side. The approval was secured through a voice note dominated by the majority despite the minority's efforts to block the motion. It goes ahead to name the justices, whom we know, so we'll move on to the next paragraph that says, Minority Leader Alexander Apanyo-Markin criticized the process and cautioned that rushing through the appointments could undermine future judicial vetting processes and damage public confidence in the judiciary. In response, Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga defended the nominations, asserting that all 7 nominees had been thoroughly vetted and deemed competent by the Appointments Committee. He rejected claims of impropriety and urged Parliament to uphold its duty to strengthen the judiciary. Right, so all 7 have made it. We'll be going to the Supreme Court. Engineer, your take on this? An addition of 7 more justices to the Supreme Court, having gone through parliamentary vetting.
Generally, I am opposed to the appointment of more justices onto the Supreme Court, because I think that as a country, we have not done well for ourselves in terms of managing our resources effectively. The appointment of 7 Supreme Court justices also means that the cost of administering the judiciary goes up immediately. Now, what kind of justice delivery have we had in the last 30 years in this country? And what is the necessity for appointing more justices other than possibly political reasons?
All of these justices, when they appeared before the committee, argued that the backlog necessitates...
Yes, I hear them because they are being appointed, so they have to justify why the need for their appointment. So it is fair for them to seek to say that, yes, there's more. But the question is, how hard do they work? I mean, we go to court every day. And you hear, oh, the judge is this case has been postponed. And the cases drag on for years. We set up a fast-track high court. How fast has this been? Justice delivery. I mean, go to the courts and find out how long cases have been in court. And what are the causes of delays. Simply small administrative issues, things like that. So for me, it is about improving the efficiency of the courts itself, and not by appointing more justices. The issue of electronic recording, all those things, how effective have they been? Has it just been about procurement, or it has ensured improvement in the delivery of justice in this country? So I don't, for any reason, see why we need to increase the number of justices in our Supreme Court, because it hasn't really delivered on what it's supposed to deliver. And for me, that is a no-no.
But you're an advocate for expeditious trials.
Yes, I am. I mean, look, I know of people, businesses, who have been in courts. A financial fast track, whatever, they've been there for years, 4 or 5 years. So what is all this about backlogs? When the justices themselves haven't displayed that they work hard enough and have allowed, lawyers to give us flimsy excuses, and then they go on a long break, judicial break, from June to October. I mean, in this country, who else goes on such breaks? And this is a remnant of the colonial era, where the justices have to go back to the UK and have a break and then come back. And we have maintained that. I mean, how do we do that? So for me, there is clearly no reason why we need to appoint more justices onto the Supreme Court.
Very well, very well. Hamza, yesterday Parliament approved all 7, but
you were going to allow my brother to come in so that I can at least appreciate the grounds of the objection.
Want to go to
no, but it's important. You know what I'm telling you is important. I need to know, appreciate the grounds of the objection.
In the case of minority will have their say, majority will have their way.
That is why it's important to listen to
the last time, I think we settled this matter. If we come here in the morning to come and discuss national issues of government, in fact, engineers shouldn't even be the first person speaking. The government people should tell us what it is that they are doing. Then we can now also make inputs. How do I comment on something I don't even have full information on?
Is it government side of the house that objected to the...
Is the executive that
government side that
yes,
approved?
Yes.
Government approved. And so we have no qualms. We have no qualms.
So tell us what has
Today,
happened.
the whole of the country knows what we do.
So tell us what has happened.
You understand? They
Tell
have
us.
concerns.
Tell us what has
I
happened.
want to hear what their concerns are.
Tell us what has
and
happened.
respond to it appropriately.
You are in government.
When
Why are you running away? Why are you running away?
When government calls a press conference, don't you ask questions?
You are in government. Why are you running away?
We held our press conference yesterday through the act of approval. Let me hear
every morning. Every morning you should speak to us.
That's a normal thing to do.
What I know.
The topic we are discussing is it engineered by the NDC or that of the NPP?
What is the topic?
The topic is
it
the
is about the decision of the minority.
No.
The topic.
The
topic they gave you. I can read it out.
You know what it is? It's approval of the 7 justices.
In any case, if you are willing to go by his designs, I will respect.
You are in government.
I think that I'm capable enough.
Live up to your. You are in government.
But, good morning to our cherished viewers, and of course to my colleagues in the studio. And Nana.
Yes.
I can understand the fire in which my brother walked into the studio with, because the last week has been quite difficult for them, especially he and his boss. People are up in arms against the desire of his boss to lead.
We'll get there. Let's deal with Supreme Court.
No, don't do this to me. Don't
Why do you always
don't do this to me? He's a brother. At least I need to sympathize with him because I can understand.
You have identified him as propagandist. I don't want to interview.
Don't put words in his mouth.
We'll get to that.
No, but Nana is only proper. He's a brother. I need to sympathize with him.
Very well.
You get it?
Very well.
So I know what he's been going through, trying to defend the position of his boss, a top-down approach that they have decided to push down as far as their party hierarchy is concerned. And many of their other contenders are unhappy. So it is only proper for me to acknowledge that my brother has been quite busy over the last week, trying to justify what appears to be quite troubling as far as the internal politics of the NPP is concerned. So I wish you people well. Like I've always indicated, I'm convinced that your boss will win. So it should not be a problem. But having said that, I won't
say anything.
Please don't.
Nana, I think that we are, when it comes to the approval of the Supreme Court nominees, we have had these discussions before. This nation must move on. This nation must move on. What I know as a matter of fact is that Parliament, the President is vested with the power in consultation with the Judicial Council to make such appointments. That has been done. Until such a time that we decide as a nation that there is the need for us to put a ceiling on the appointment of Supreme Court judges, nothing bars any president, either now or in the future, from proceeding to make appointments to the Supreme Court bench. And you see, for those of us, for many who argue that maybe comparatively in terms of numbers, if you are comparing that of our numbers on the bench to that of the United Kingdom and United States of America, then clearly our numbers should be seen as being too much. I disagree with them. Ours is a young democracy, it's a fledgling one. And so on a daily basis, people go out there to test the law. The number of cases that we have to deal with, especially when it comes to constitutional interpretation and issues of enforcement of our constitution, because our democracy is now maturing. There are many. You remember, even in the run up to the the last election, 2024, the number of cases that the Supreme Court had to deal with. And many of us were complaining about the inability of the Supreme Court to be able to timely dispense justice in many of these instances. Because if you are a practitioner and you are familiar with how our systems work, you walk into a courtroom, especially the Supreme Court, and those judges who are impaneled to sit on it, at the end of the day, they start at 9, and if you are not careful, the same panel will sit on about 3, 4, 5 different cases, where preliminary objections are raised, And so they would have to adjourn and move on to another case in that manner. So they really, you wonder how they are able to find time to be able to confidently and succinctly respond to many of the legal issues coming up on a daily basis. So for me, I am not against the numbers, and we should resist that attempt to be comparative in terms of our analysis, because many of these developed countries, their democracies are developed already. Many things are hardly tested there. It ends at the Court of Appeal level. Ours is still growing. We must be given the opportunity to develop that sector. But I would agree with those who are raising concerns about the possibility of political interference when it comes to such appointments. We've seen it in the past where when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo decided to pack the Supreme Court bench in the language of many who were against. Our colleagues defended it, saying that it was good for our democracy. I don't think that so much has changed today. His Excellency President Mahama has only proceeded to appoint about 7. That ultimately will bring the number to about 20 or so, because now we have about 13 of them. Yeah. And a number of them, I'm told, will be going on retirement by next year. Yeah. And some by the end of this year. So the numbers are really not that awkward from where I sit. It is something that we can manage with and develop effectively.
What would you say to those who argue for an efficient system as against an increase in numbers?
No, I will welcome it confidently. And you see, Nana, that is why I'm saying that I don't think that the problem really has to do with efficiency alone. That is why I gave the background that if you look at the nature of our democracy, we are growing. And so many of these things are expected in terms of the workload. And so efficiency, if that would be beneficial to the process, why not? I welcome that openly. But the point I am making is that we must be careful in the way we push some of these things and the kind of demands we make, because we must pay attention to our democratic journey and know that indeed the Supreme Court will be an instrumental pillar in terms of our desire to improve upon our democratic credentials. And so for me, that is my motivation. But when you come down to what happened yesterday in Parliament, I listened to the mini minority leader. And in all honesty, I was struggling to appreciate his concerns because they took an active part in the vetting of the said Supreme Court nominees. They were active in the vetting. They went to the committee level, I'm told, they raised certain concerns. Those concerns were factored. As a result of that, a report was fashioned out and presented to Parliament. Now, my understanding is that many of the concerns that they expressed, not all were captured in the report of the committee. I know as a matter of fact that when appointments committee, when the appointment committees, mostly when they sit, this is not the first time, and concerns are raised, it is practically impossible for the committee to capture everything in detail that was said at the committee level in its report. The most important point to be made is that, look, these number of people objected, or members of Parliament objected, or the minority decided to object. But at the end of the day, majority carries the day. So when the committee's report is presented to Parliament, you simply cannot say that it does not reflect your position as minority. Because whichever way you look at it, if the decision of the committee at the committee level is that they have all passed, even by a majority, that is what has to be reported to Parliament. And possibly state the grounds why some people decided to oppose. And that should suffice, as far as I'm concerned. And that was what happened. So this needless effort on the part of the mini minority leader to become relevant under the circumstance is something even the MPP should be worried about. Because like I have indicated, they have done this before. In some of these cases, they had our support. Even instances that we did not want to be part of the processes, we worked out and they had their way. That option is available to them as well. Because we must be careful especially when it comes to our judicial system in this country, the kind of politics we subject it to, especially in the House of Parliament. And for me, I don't care. Even if it is done by the National Democratic Congress, I would express publicly my resentment when it comes to some of these things. So it is difficult to understand the expectations of the mini minority side of the House. Like you indicated, whichever way they turn, the NDC is the majority in the House, and a decision will be taken. Because we believe that we are acting based on the mandate that was given to us on the 7th of January. And so any exercise of authority or support is seen as a reflection of the collective desires of the good people of this country. Indeed, he, on the 14th of December, on Joy FM, made that emphatically clear, that the NDC has been given a mandate to discharge their responsibilities on behalf of the Ghanaian people.
He kept the date?
Of course, because it was important.
Amazing.
You see,
Very well.
You see, for them, and you see, what worries me, Nana, finally, what worries me is that I think that these people are just out to waste the time of the Ghanaian people and to punish the Ghanaian people for voting them out and to be destructive in terms of their politicking. And I'll tell you why. In that same interview, my brother indicated that. In that same interview, my brother indicated that they are waiting to laugh. Because in his estimation, the NDC will disappoint the Ghanaian people and they will be subjected to pain. And instead of him to sympathize, God forbid, even if something like that should happen, his intimation was that they are waiting to laugh at the Ghanaian people.
Laugh at the NDC or laugh at the Ghanaian people?
People. Didn't say that. The video is there. I can pull it out.
Right here.
I can pull the video out.
Listen.
I can pull the video out.
Calm down. You said things, I didn't even react. You are lying right before me.
I am
here. You are lying right.
Nana, you can pull that out the video. I can pull out the video.
What kind of producers is this? That I'm
you want me to pull it out?
Pull out.
I can pull it out.
Yes. You didn't used to be like this. Why? I'm sitting here, right?
But you see, but that is the NPP we are dealing with. They are interested in being relevant at this critical moment, where they are supposed to actually go back, do self-introspection, and rebuild their party and begin to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people bit by bit. Because like I've always indicated, we need them when it comes to our democracy.
Yeah.
I'm not part of those who feel that the NPP should be made or rendered useless when it comes to the democratic dispensation of this country. My multi-party democracy.
Yeah.
And I'm an advocate.
Yeah.
I am an advocate of multi-party democracy. And I think that it should be in our interest to also charge them to demonstrate some level of responsibility when it comes to their role as an opposition party. We did so, saying, when we're in opposition. We took government on very sensitive issues that actually affected the lives of the Ghanaian people.
Very well.
We complained about issues like the $51 million that was used to dig an expensive hole for the people of this country, on behalf of the people of this country. These were legitimate criticisms. We complained about the PDS scandal. We complained about the domestic debt exchange program and the havoc it caused businesses. In fact, in most cases, we led demonstrations. We complained bitterly about the economic policies of the NPP.
They started complaining too.
No, but they have. So these are the kind of engagements I would want us to have.
Responsible opposition.
Responsibility. But even you, do you understand the basis of the drama that Afenyo Markin spearheaded in Parliament yesterday? And the grounds for it. You genuinely understand it.
Perhaps
there is now behind the objection.
Let me go to Dennis.
So these are some of the issues we need to take them on.
Right.
They owe us a duty to be responsible.
Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, Hamza.
Okay.
Dennis.
You've spoken now. I think you are even tired. This is one of the few days that you've spoken.
The plan is I don't want you to talk.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I mean,
if they give me the entire time, I'll be back.
The kind of government you belong to, I don't need to say anything. The people will feel it themselves. You see, I keep saying it, and I would continue to say it. we are basically saddled with a clueless.
We're going for the adjectives again.
Everlasting, incompetent bunch
the last 8 years
of arrogant braggarts who have simply scammed their way into power. And you see, they are clueless. And because they are clueless, when they wake up in the morning, that is when they are confronted with the reality. And then that is when they are actually looking for solutions. Unfortunately, because of their arrogance and the amount of consummation that has happened to them with power, they think everybody else should keep quiet. You see, he said he doesn't want me to talk. They think everybody else should just shut up. And it's as if we voted for them on 7 December and basically sold the country to them. Now, are you aware that on the 1st of July, this clueless government has imposed 15%
VAT
on insurance? So car owners, property owners, business owners, all kind of people who need insurance, 15%. So if you were paying 10,000 cedis as your premium, you are going to pay how much? 11,500 cedis. This government. That's what they have done to us. You are already aware that all the other issues and worries are still there. Cement prices have gone up by 45 cedis. We are still dealing with it. They haven't said anything, done anything about it. This government. They already added 14% onto our electricity bill,
tariffs,
which the electricity we are not getting. People are in darkness. Companies are shutting down in the industrial area. Those who are not shutting down are operating at half capacity. They are laying off workers. Cold store owners are running on gensets permanently. It is wiping away their capital. Their profit is almost zero. But you see, he's still on TV, confidently, telling us that everything is fine. This is a government that has been in office for 6 months, and all their MDAs have been staffed. Ask him. Ask him. You let him lift his head to respond.
The money's having hit their
no projects, no programs. 6 months. This country basically is marking time.
The 25 million.
They are not spending a dime. Go and ask them. And he knows. This one, I'm even saying this for him. Oh, why you? I'm saying it for him. Go and ask the road minister. Go and ask the health minister.
The road minister was on the back page of the Daily Graphic.
Projects, even projects that are donor funded.
He says stalled road projects due to debt.
I'm telling you that go to Bank of Ghana. Accounts have been swept empty to the finance minister for him to use to do his skirmishes. He is really forcing with that. And you know, some of these things, they send us, they tell us. They are crying. And it's not only they are crying, because it affects all of us. If you have a country that 6 months, the government is not doing anything, not spending. Agenda 111 hospitals have been halted since January. No action on them. Roads halted. You've seen the road minister himself say it. Schools, no school construction ongoing. Nothing. Nothing.
Is that why you are rejecting the
No, wait. I'm making a point. I haven't come to the judges. What he said at the latter part, they didn't have anything to do with judges.
Very well.
You understand? And yet, he comes to sit on TV. And he's telling us that all of us should shut up and keep quiet. Like, we shouldn't say anything. This is the only government in the history of this country that has managed to bring dollar down and still prices of goods on our market are high and expensive. The only government. It's strange, the sort of contradictory economy that they are running. This is the only government that is able to bring fuel prices down and still goods and services are expensive on our market. There is something going on with this government. There is something artificial, something fishy going on with this government. And because they know...
So the market is not responding.
But is it responding? Is it? Engineer, is he asking if the market is responding? He will know.
You buy supplies on
he will not know.
No, not on a daily basis.
He will know because there's a fuel station at the castle where this morning before he comes, he drives through, fill his tank and comes.
Hamza, is that true?
Yes, there is. Oh, why?
No, he's here, so I just need him
but
to
I'm just leaving. I'm telling that he
how they were running the country. So that's why he's assuming
but I saw him. He said I'm lying. Yes, I saw your car. I don't know your car number.
Where did you see it?
I don't know your car.
At the castle?
Yes.
What were you doing at the castle?
Oh, why? I'm telling you why. He's here. So you see, a lot of them.
You have to defend this.
That's
he's here. That's last he spoke about.
Did you allow me to interrupt him?
I told you to clarify that. He said you were laughing at that. Yes, I will clarify that.
Very
well.
So you see, he will not understand this. He's completely here, and the entire country
is down there.
Down there. He sees us like some impoverished, malnutrition, Koshoko people. And so he says whatever he wants to say. But Nana, this country is going through difficulties. This country is going through difficulties. I'm telling you. See, go and check the construction industry. It's becoming expensive. Iron rods are going skyrocketing. Cement prices, 45 cedis in 6 months. Increase. They can't even find it and buy. And you are aware that once these things are affected, it begins to affect every other thing. Go to Malata Market. Right here, around Kokomlimli. 2 pieces of tomatoes selling for 20 cedis. Difficulties. They are not doing anything. They are not even telling us what they are doing. Nurses were on strike for weeks. Near health crisis. The Mortuary Workers Association complained about how much dead bodies were coming to the morgues. Now they've put it on suspension, not cancelled. Government, what are you doing? You're not telling us anything. It's like we don't even deserve to know as a people. And yet, he comes on air, says everything is okay. See, gaslighting. You know, gaslighting is when you are hungry, very, very hungry. But they're telling that no, you are not hungry. You don't know you are not hungry. You are actually sick. But you know you are hungry. That's what they are doing to us. I have absolutely no problem with judges being appointed. Me, I have never had a problem. Why? If you can have even 200 judges, if you can set up, the law can allow for Supreme Courts to be set up in every region. Why should anybody fight it? After all, it would speed up cases. Because, I agree with him that you have too many cases pending. You have, sometimes a judge will be sitting on your case. By the time you go another time, he's not there. Imagine being in court and making your case to a particular judge. Then last minute, he's not there. Somebody else comes.
Is brought in.
So I don't have a problem. The only problem I have with this government is their level of hypocrisy, inconsistencies, lies, betrayal. That is what I have a problem with. This government, whilst in opposition, said a whole lot of things. They come into government, they do otherwise. They promised us that when they come to office, they would deal with Galamsey head on. Galamsey was one of the reasons why MPP was kicked out of government. They've been in government for 6 months.
Is that in the Okwe report? No, I'm just asking.
I haven't seen the Okwe report.
Very well.
But do you disagree? No, I haven't.
Very well.
Do you disagree with me that Galamsey was one of the major things that knocked out the MPP?
No, I haven't done the study.
So you disagree? It's okay if you
I haven't
disagree.
done the study, so I do not know.
So do you agree or disagree?
I do not know.
You don't know, okay. But it's one of the major issues. Every voter in this country knows that except for you. Now, you promise the people specific things you will do. You've been 6 months in office. You've sacked 35,000 Ghanaians out of office, terminated their appointments. You've done all manner of things. You've claimed 100
BOG staff.
You've claimed yes. You've claimed glory for all manner of things. But Galamsey, you haven't been able to deal with it. It is getting worse. The TUC told the president to his face that Galamsey has escalated. Your constituency chairman, Upper Denshire East, so many other constituencies, they are in our water bodies, destroying it, digging out the gold. The security agencies are being accused of protecting illegal mining sites. You are doing nothing about it. All you are doing is the same old thing that was being done, which you criticized and said you will not do it. What about the specific things you promised? And the painful thing is that the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit of all your promises in the fight against Galamsey, which was the repeal of the LI 2462, you couldn't do it. You've gone to amend it. And you haven't even had the courtesy to come and tell the people why you failed to fulfill that simple promise. You couldn't do any of those things. None. But you see, the ones that are wicked, the wicked ones, the ones that will serve your parochial interest, those things that you said whilst you're in opposition, that advances your political group, those ones, you come and you do it with alacrity. What are the things? You said you cannot work with this Chief Justice. You said it in opposition. That this Chief Justice, you want to fix the judiciary, but you cannot do it with the same Chief Justice. Barely 3 months in office, under 120 days, you are hounding the Chief Justice, put her on trial, public ridicule. You are removing the Chief Justice like you are removing an SRC president. That promise, you are doing it with speed. That promise that fulfills your political ego. You are doing it with excitement. Today, our Chief Justice, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, historically, never in the history of this country, is fighting for survival. She's moving up and down. She's being searched like a criminal before she enters committee meetings. She's not being, she doesn't even have a voice. That you are doing with speed. Galamsey is striving. You told your party people, your party lawyers. Hamza was there in Ho. I saw him that day. Because that day I was in Ho for a program. And he was there with the NDC young lawyers. You told them that you feel that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has packed our court with partisan people. And so your NDC people, Hamza is likely to be a judge if he wants to be. But can you imagine Hamza, a judge? How? He qualifies, he's good, he has all the technical expertise, but he is partisan.
Like just
I beg you. When you have your
be careful with
your turn. Okay. He is partisan. Okay. So now you come and tell the country that in your view, the court is packed with partisan political people. So your party people should be ready. When you come, you are going to balance the bench and you are going to elevate them to the bench. Then immediately you come, you appoint 7. So as I sit here, I may not have any problem with it, but I'm clear in my mind that the 7 you are appointed, it may not be true, but they are NDC people. You said it.
Based on what you said.
Yes, you set the tone. And for me, that is one of the most reckless comments by any presidential candidate we have seen in this country. Because you basically did it. And I think that today, if you ask His Excellency the President to repeat, he won't do it. I know him. He will not do it. I'm sure he was just in the political frenzy and all of that, and then he made that comment. But for that comment, I don't think we'll be having any issue with the seven justices. Which of them doesn't qualify? Which of them doesn't qualify? All of them qualify. But the conversation is turned the way it is now because of those comments. And what I expect Hamza and his friends to do is to tell the country that, we think that comment was in bad taste. Because the country doesn't deserve that. You don't have to tell the country that. You don't have to put the country through that. Because our laws do not condone that. But you are failing to do that.
Well.
You are failing to acknowledge to the people that, oh no, that was in bad taste, but let's put it aside. These are very qualified judges, which I agree that these judges are very, very, very qualified judges. But are they NDC? Because that one, I still haven't been able to clear it out of my mind yet. Yes, because of what the president did said. Can you imagine that another government comes and decides that you appointed 7 NDC judges, according to your own words, you appointed 7 NDC judges into the Supreme Court. So I'm also coming to appoint 14 MPP judges. Where are we taking this country? There are certain things you don't see. You understand? Appoint Hamza. Let us come and criticize and tell you that this and this and this and this are the reasons why we think Hamza is partisan. You understand? Yeah. But don't come and tell us that you want to appoint an NDC person who is going to go to the place, and that person is Hamza. That is an insult. It looks like you're truncating me. I sat down and listened to him.
Then it's done more than 10 minutes.
He did 15. That is an insult to the Ghanaian. I use a stopwatch. It's an insult to the Ghanaian people. And if Hamza wants to know why, the minority and several other Ghanaians will have a concern, it is not because they have any problem with the noble judges. It is simply because of the utterances, the intention, the premeditation that the president came into the office with in terms of appointing the judges. And I think that all politicians, all aspiring presidents should learn from this and never should this happen again. Now they have passed. They have passed with the majority. But you agree with me that we barely have such a scenario. Usually judges don't have such split views on the floor of parliament. But we are going through this because of the utterances of the president. And then you are tainting these noblemen, some of whom have actually earned it. Some of whom have earned it, long service. Earned it, and now when somebody appears before them and they take a certain decision, which may even be fair, they look at it and say, is it not one of those judges that President Mahama said he would bring to? I think that we need to be careful how we handle some of these things going forward. And he shouldn't. He shouldn't discount our views and call us names when we have such legitimate grounds. Don't you think we have legitimate grounds to raise such concerns based on the president's own views? Why are you treating us like we are not Ghanaians?
Thank you.
Like we are second-class people to you because you are in power?
Thank you, Dennis.
How long? You have barely 41 months or so to go. 1,200.
You're still counting.
1,203 days to go. That is how many days you have.
That's why you do in opposition.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll do a final round on this. 2 minutes each. I beg you. Engineer, let me start with you. Two politicians seem to agree that there is need for more justices.
I have stated that I disagree on the appointment of more justices. And clearly, over the years, the reports and the attempts to improve the efficiency of the courts speaks volumes about the performance of our courts itself. Now, the question is whether these efforts we have put in terms of trying to digitalize the court, put in a lot of systems to improve the courts, have worked. If they haven't worked, why have they not worked? Have we questioned those things? So we need to look beyond this, and then you listen to the vetting process, and then we are asked that, look, we have to send our Supreme Court justice. In response to a question about Chinese trial of Chinese citizens, we have a justice suggesting that we should send judges to China to go and learn what happened to technology. I mean, in this day and age, what happened to technology? So clearly, our judges themselves may not have the right mindset to transform the system, which we need to look at. Because, I mean, in this day and age, for a judge to respond and say, we need to send them to China to go and learn Mandarin or whatever before they can try citizens who cannot speak English or who are Chinese, beats my mind in the age of technology. So clearly, there's a lot more we can do to improve the efficiency of the courts rather than appointing more judges. And again, the background to the appointment doesn't help. Where a presidential candidate suggests that, look, we need to pack the courts. And then he comes in and he does it. Clearly, it doesn't support the evidence that we needed to improve efficiency or with the backlogs. And you hear all of them and they are justifying it. So for me, it is a worrying thing, and citizens need to be minded and concerned about these things, where we are increasing the administrative costs without benefits to citizens. I mean, go around and check what has happened to low-profile cases. Somebody steals a good, somebody does it. They are tried very quickly. But when it comes to the trial of big people, then it becomes an issue of dragging it as long as we can.
Perhaps those cases are more complicated.
No, it simply suggests that justice is for the rich. Justice can be bought by the rich. And these are the things that the judiciary should be concerned about and ensure that cases are speeded up and not left to the luxury and whims and caprices of the rich. Look at what Oforiatta, for instance, is doing. And everybody sits down quietly. These are the things that we should be concerned about as citizens, and not simply saying that we need to pack the courts, we need to increase justice.
Thank you. Hamza, 2 minutes, please.
I think, Nana, it is important to bring your attention home. And that was the reason why I said that the minority was engaged in an effort to waste the entire time of the nation. Clearly, listening to my brother Dennis, are you able to decipher from his submissions the actual concerns of the minority or mini minority in parliament yesterday as regards their failure to be part of the processes that led to the approval of these nominees?
What he's saying, the concern has to do with what President Mahama said while in opposition.
That is not accurate, because Afenyo Markin is saying that at the committee level, they raised certain concerns about some of the judges. And so they expected it to be featured in the report. This were the.
But this includes some of the concerns. Why?
I'm giving you additional information. See, you told me to not interject.
But you did.
Respect it.
Okay.
So you see, clearly, they are simply opposing for the sake of it. Because they are in opposition. In their mindset, they must oppose anything this government does, even if it is in the interest of the Ghanaian people. And we see, we will not run away from our campaign promises that we made in opposition. And even my senior colleague needs to appreciate that I can understand his disdain for some of the promises we made in opposition, and maybe to a very large extent, even the National Democratic Congress and our policies. When we complained about the unhealthy attempt of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and even action, not attempt, to pack the courts, where were they? And we just did not complain about packing the courts in opposition. We raised legitimate concerns about that deliberate decision to sidestep judges who had been at the Supreme Court level for years. beating down on their experience and bringing people, former parliamentary candidates of the New Patriotic Party, straight to the Supreme Court bench. These were the things we complain about. And we said, as part of our process of restructuring the country and resetting it, there was the need for us to ensure that justice was carried to even the doorstep of the judiciary. So those who were qualified to be appointed to the Supreme Court bench and were sidestepped, irrespective of their political parties, they needed to be assured that this country would be just to them. And so President Mahama said in opposition that upon assumption of office, many of these things would be acted upon. Are they able to point out that the 7 justices that have been nominated, in one way or the other, have associated themselves with the National Democratic Congress? Are they able to say that? Many of them, in fact, about 3 of them were actually appointed to the Court of Appeal by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, not John Dramani Mahama, and not Atta Mills. We could have been that petty and proceeded on the basis that, look, because we did not appoint you to the Court of Appeal, we are not going to promote you to the Supreme Court. President Mahama did not do that. And so when he said in opposition that there was a need for us to reset the system, that was what he meant. And he proceeded to say that if after that reset, and the nation deems it appropriate for us to engage in a unanimous attempt to put a ceiling on it, then we can proceed on the basis of that. So let us not distort the promises that were made by His Excellency President Mahama and proceed to target us back in the courts. And you see, Nana, my brother also put out so many lies. First of all, you may think that it is trivial, but it is not. I do not even know where the petroleum station, fuel station of Google, or what is the name, the presidency is. I don't know. Because this is a government that made a commitment and a promise to the good people of this country to be very sensitive when it comes to how we use the limited resources of this country. And His Excellency President Mahama will not entertain a situation where I am allowed to have access to fuel. This is a president who has even given a directive.
I need you to land.
No, I will land, please, but don't do this to me. No, this is very sensitive. No, this is a president who has even given a directive that because of cost, DSTV should be unsubscribed of the president. And you think that such a president will allow me to have free fuel? Absolutely not. Again, my brother also brought out another lie about cement prices on your own page. I have it here. This is not my, and he has been peddling these lies for some time now.
So you've got
this was done by CTFM. Cement prices, average prices.
Yeah.
In 2016, President Mahama left cement prices at 29 Ghana cedis. At the time they were leaving office, it was in excess of 110 Ghana cedis. And this was somewhere in June 2024. 108 Ghana cedi by your own station. Today, average prices of cement is 105. 105, still less than the June prices that they left. And remember that even by 2024, it had moved beyond the 108. So you cannot sit on this platform and lie that cement prices have remained relatively the same. Finally, import prices, cost of, he's saying that, look, the impact of the city or the fact that the city is gaining strength is not true. Is that accurate? Your own radio station, you have done documentaries on now the import bills of cars imported into this country since the city started gaining strength. In some cases, about 30,000 Ghana cedis have been knocked off on import prices. That is proactive governance. And today you are referring to us as being arrogant. Have you forgotten the last 8 years? What you took this country through?
Thank you, Hamza.
Under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Thank you.
And you have the F1 tree to refer to this government that is very sensitive, respectfully committed to his campaign promises has been arrogant. My brother, sometimes there's a need for you to appreciate that opposition means sober reflection. Because you were the very person that even many of your colleagues that has been arrogant.
Thank you.
So you need to shake it off first.
Dennis, you have the floor.
You see,
you are giving him the floor to do it again, so that you give me the floor again.
No, but you have 2 rounds on the issue.
He's forgotten.
This is his second round.
He's forgotten. He's forgotten. He's forgotten. Take some tea and calm down.
But I'll come back again.
It does.
We'll
you can
move on
buy
to other
airtime.
matters.
You can buy airtime.
Then it's
Unfortunately, I don't have the money to buy. You still have the money.
Like I keep saying, the NDC, they are on a gaslighting spree. As at 7th January 2025, cement for 42.5 hour was 85 cedis. The highest one, I think, was Dangote or so. That was 90 cedis.
2025.
Yes, January. 42.5 hour. You know the cement there is 32.5 hour. There's 42.5 hour.
Yeah.
42.5
Engineers
hour.
here, you can help us with the
Today, cement, gas 42.5 hour is selling for 130 cedis. Now, as we speak, he's here, you know, saying all manner of things and trying to shut everybody down. Like everybody should keep quiet for him. You know, the king has arrived. 1st July, it has just been announced. Breaking news. Breaking news. I've just read it. Breaking news. I already told you that last night. The breaking news from VAT is that on 1st GRA was that 1st July there will be 15%
on insurance.
The breaking news, the new breaking news is that on the 1st of July, and every Ghanaian should be ready for it. On the 1st of July, every Ghanaian is going to have an increase of about 2.5% in their utility tariff.
Where are you getting this from?
My Joy News just reported. I'm sure Publicity has reported because you're on air. Because it's a breaking news. And of course, you understand why it would be a breaking news. This is a government.
They signed that deal with the IMF.
Charlie.
And so that's the third quarter.
Charlie. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can understand. Being in government is not a joke. Because you have nothing to do with it. You know, this is not your business. You are minding your business. You are sitting somewhere this morning. You have prepared, your notes. You are coming to speak. And then the people who have sat in the room last night where you were not there, and they've put something out.
That's what they used to do to you.
And you are coming to defend it.
That's what they used to do to you.
2.45% electricity tariff. Now this is it. My Joy News. That's it. Maybe you can see it for yourself.
I won't be surprised because that's the deal you entered into with the IMF. Is that not the fact?
Lawyers do not lie. Lawyers like facts. That is not a fact.
No, that is the fact.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You see, me, I don't like it when I see perspective. You can be a judge very soon from the way things are going. And you cannot be lying on national TV.
Very well.
There is nowhere in the IMF agreement that says that there will be a quarterly increase in utilities. There's nowhere. It talks about quarterly adjustment. That is why even in 2024, when we were in power, we reduced electricity when we were doing quarterly adjustment. We reduced it.
So the review can be downwards.
It can be because it was downwards at certain times under our government. How come under your government it's only upwards? And then you are telling me that it is in that there is false. The agreement is there, and you see these things. If you say it, City will make a flashcard and make a story of it too. 2 years down the line, your children will be reading. They say daddy lied. The conditionality is
like
clear.
We have many of your
the conditionality
postcards.
is clear. It's clear. Okay, that there will be adjustment. Can be upward, downward. Under the MPP in 2024, it was downward. How come you alone, when you came to government, everything is upward?
You want me to respond to you?
I beg you.
Why? You want me to respond to you?
You spoke unhindered.
How about he's referring to me?
I beg you. Don't do that. I agree you are in government, but you don't own us. So instead of he being on air and letting Ghanaians feel like they have everything under control, he should humble himself. Humility is key. You have nothing under control. These guys are clueless. They don't have a hand over the situation in this country. Their finance minister told us in parliament that they are not going to necessarily introduce any new taxes. And that he has identified something called tax refund, which is 6%, which is going to review downwards to 4%. And in his view, once he does the 4% tax refund from 6%, he will have enough money to take care of everything that he needs. You have created a big hole in your own budget. Your own budget, you caused it yourself by artificially managing the dollar. Because you run a budget that you use dollar rate of about 15 point something. Then you decided to do populist. And you decided to artificially manage the dollar. And work it in a way that will bring it to a certain level. You have succeeded at that, no worries. But it's not even reflecting in our lives. And that has created a big hole, which you need to fill. And the only way you can fill that hole is to raise money. You know it. You know it. And you are treating all of us like we are dumb. Like we have no idea what's going on. That is basically what this government is doing. One, they are not spending. And the reason why they are not spending is because they are refusing to let people have money. Because if they have money, they are going to go after the dollar that they've over pumped into the system. Two, they have sold our gold, got raw dollar, and given it to the banks, oversupplied them. But even though they have oversupplied them, they are still starving you of the cedi that you would even need to go and buy the dollar to go and do your business. So the dollar is there, and nobody is even using it, and they keep pumping into it. That is why we keep saying it's artificial. It's okay. You've brought it down. Perfect. But it's not reflecting in our lives. But because of what you have done with that artificial management, you have created a big hole in your own budget, which you need to fill. And that is why every day we wake up and they've introduced a new tax, contrary to their own words. You don't want us to say it. You don't. You are shutting us up. And you are in government for 6 months. You've appointed your ministers, appointed your board, you've appointed your chief executives. You have lost control over running the country. And anytime people say it, you say the MPP, they did this. The MPP, they did that. If we were better, you think they would have voted us out? They voted for you because they thought you would be better than us. Because of the things you told them.
Yeah.
The big things that you said. So if you are failing to be competent enough and deal with your own words, don't forget that so far, nobody has even compared the NDC to anybody. The comparison of NDC is to their own words. The things you said yourself. Nobody has even run to say, oh, Kufuor did this, and you are doing this. Mills did this, and you are doing this. Kufuor did this, and nobody has done that too. We are measuring you against your own words. And you are failing at it. Simple things that you said you would do, you are failing at it. People are struggling. See, there are young teachers who have been, there are young teachers, there are young teachers, but I'll come back because we'll do 3-3. If it does 4, we'll do 4-4. There are young teachers who have been picketing.
And you can choose to
yes,
use your time
exactly.
for.
There are young teachers who have been picketing at the GES for days now. Are you aware?
Yeah.
They sleep there.
Yeah.
They sent a SWAT team.
Gone back to school
they sent a SWAT team with mask to go and beat them and sack them out of the GES premises. These are young people who are struggling. The nurses are still waiting for what you are going to do for them. And you are here gaslighting us and telling us that
thank you.
Everything
Let's
is okay
take a break
with
at
us.
this point.
Don't do that. Don't do that to the people of this country. They deserve better.
We'll go on to MPP
They deserve
matters.
better. The people of this country deserve better.
Thank you.
It is painful. Allow him.
This is the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. We'll take a break here. We'll come back with more. Stay with us.
Life can get hectic, and sometimes we forget to prioritize our well-being. That's where Vernal Mineral Water steps in. A refreshing solution packed with essential minerals, Vernal Mineral Water keeps you hydrated and balanced. Whether you're at home or work, Vernal Mineral Water is there to keep you going. Don't let a busy schedule hinder your health. Make Vernal Mineral Water a part of your daily routine. Share the love with Vernal Mineral Water, the choice for a healthy, vibrant you.
This advert is FDA approved.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes! So, what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
You're welcome back. Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. We're having the news review segment. We're moving on to other matters. The former GRA boss, the Rev. Amisha Dai, and 2 others have been detained over the SML contract probe. The story is on channel1news.com. 3 former officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority, including the ex-Commissioner General, Reverend Dr. Amisha Dai Owusu Amwa, have been taken into custody as investigations intensify into the controversial Strategic Mobilization Limited SML deal. The 2 others identified as Dr. Isaac Krensel and Christian Tetesoti are also former high-ranking GRA officials. The trial is alleged to have played roles in the procurement and implementation of SML contract, which has come under serious public and institutional scrutiny. Okay, so the OSP is at it. We've had this conversation over the period, especially regarding the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. And it looks as though now the OSP is building the case locally while he awaits Ken Ofori-Atta. So we're being told that 3 high-ranking officials under the previous regime have been picked up. Engineer, I'll start with you. Fight against corruption. Way to go?
Oh, I mean, there's very little information to work with at the moment, except that what the OSP has said, that is arrested these people and is continuing with the investigation. But I think that sincerely, the fight against corruption must be pursued. But we should also be looking at institutions. You see, the issue where the horses have run out of the barn and we go chasing them doesn't help this country. We need to be looking at existing procurements that are going on now and be asking questions of those procurements, rather than waiting for the money to be lost or anything and then go running after the horses. So for me, the fight against corruption should go beyond chasing former people to looking at what is happening now. What are the procurements going on now in government that we need to be looking at? When a member of parliament says that, for instance, or how we are spending money, says that, oh, the recent closure of the U.S. embassy, so members of the Committee of Foreign Affairs in Parliament have to possibly go and visit the U.S. to see how things are going. Those are questions we should ask about the judicious expenditure of public funds. Is that even right to make a suggestion like that? When we have a Ministry of Foreign Affairs that can monitor all these things. So for me, the fight against corruption should go beyond chasing after what has possibly been lost to also looking at what is happening now. If you go to all our entity tender committees, what are the contracts before them? What are they asking for? Are they proper? Are the companies supplying these things not overinflating the prices? These are things that we need to begin. So I think that there needs to be some live monitoring of procurements that are going on so that we can, on a daily basis, look at them and say, hey, is this right? When government says it's awarding a contract for road, how much is that road project costing? What is the detailed work that needs to be done? Is that value for money? Those are things that we should put in public domain even before the contract goes out and is signed. So for me, we should have a rigorous process of monitoring ongoing works and projects and procurements that are going on. For me, that is the way to also go.
Very well, thank you. Dennis, SML, OSP, GRA, ex-officials picked up.
And I mean, I have a problem.
Which is?
I have a problem with how we seem to be going about some of these justice application. I think that maybe we should pull some brakes. And I mean, I'm not a lawyer. Those are technicalities. But common sense tells me that if I wake up in the morning and I see engineer's picture on the front page and I see arrest, if I don't take care, I may never see any further story on that. And I forever live with the thought that engineer was arrested for
some wrongdoing.
I don't see why it is almost becoming as if every person of interest in any investigating matter should be put under arrest. I don't know. I don't know. You see, you can always justify it. If you talk to them, they can always give you reasons why they should, they must. But I think arrest is a very serious tool. It's a very, very serious tool. Like, it's not a tool that we play with. It's a tool that when you deploy, you must be concrete at the time you are doing it. Especially in matters like this. You must be concrete at the time you are doing it. Otherwise, I think we may end up destroying too many people. We may end up destroying too many people in the long run. I've seen too many of this. And the last time I made this point, that we should have a cutoff point, like a stop point. Some of my friends in NDC will agree with me. They think that, no, let's finish this one. When it gets to your turn, you make it. It's okay. But I also fear that there are people also in the MPP who are also watching and are also taking, and they are also waiting
to do same.
Yes, because there are people in the NDC who went through similar ones, and they feel that no, I've kept it for 8 years and I must exert my vengeance now. Because why do we rush in even putting these names and these photos on front pages? So you are OSP, you're going to arrest somebody. Like, why is it news? And you yourself in your story says, as part of investigation. Some of them may even not end up not even being charged. Right?
Yeah.
So why? That is my worry. If you are very sure that the person will end up being charged and taken to court, there's no problem with it. But for the person that ends up not being charged, there are some people who were arrested, Rambo style, from 16 years ago, 12 years ago, it became news and we never heard anything again till today. Even recently, there are plenty people, there are news, we still haven't heard anything. Some of them, they will come and list them, announce them, and later they will come for another press conference and now these are the people we are charging. How about the one you came to mention his name in the previous one? And his image was put on portals and front pages and all of that. I'm worried. I'm worried that if we don't take care, it's going to be a cycle. And we may end up destroying people. Take your time. He comes to you. Even if you want to arrest him, honestly, I don't think that, but for the OSP putting this information out, any of these people who are arrested went there with the media to go and capture their arrest and all of that. And typically, they would invite you, you get there, then they would say you're under arrest, What is this thing that, you put in everybody out there?
Yeah.
When you have an ongoing investigation. I don't know if Nana, you are following my point.
Yeah.
Because today you've arrested 3 people in connection with SML.
Yeah.
This is the same SML you said you are investigating
Kenofuyata
on. So it is very possible or likely that 1 or 2 of these 3 people, or even all these 3 people, may end up saying, and then you may actually find out that probably they have no culpability in it. If you do, what happens to this front pages that you have done to them?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I have seen people pull up screenshots. That one of the reasons why when somebody puts out a falsehood about me on an online portal, I make sure the correction on another story is done, even if they don't pull it down, is that 20 years down the line, they go and pick Hamza Suyuni says, and they say, hey, this is what you did 20 years ago. But actually that story may have been a falsehood, that was probably debunked, and all of that, but it stays forever.
Yeah.
So I am only pleading that maybe it's time the security, investigation, and intelligence agencies should concentrate on their work and forget about all these PR and attempt to let people feel that we are working. Work. When there is a court sentence, everybody will know or everybody will hear. Then people would not be destroyed in the process. But from the way things are going, by the time, even if you are lied on, by the time you go through this, our long judicial process, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, you have been destroyed. Because by the 5th or 6th year that you are, how many people know that Opuni was in court for almost about 8 years or more? But today, if you ask anybody about Opuni, the first thing that comes to people mind, Kokobot connection. But he has been, can I say exonerated or he's been cleared or discharged, whatever it is.
It looks like there's a public trial even before the court trial.
That is my problem. Because today, the man or several other people like him, look at what we did to Sidi Adapa. Look at what OSP did to Sidi Adapa. Look at what OSP did to Sidi Adapa. Today, where is Sidi Adapa's matter? But if you mention Sidi Adapa right now, as I have mentioned, the first thing that comes to everybody's mind, the woman that stole money. But to date, the OSP himself has not been able to. At some point, did they even write some letters to Yoko and said that they cannot handle the matter anymore. It must be an Yoko matter. But the woman has been destroyed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a woman that today, if you mention his name, even an 8-year-old would tell you that, $600. But it is because of the way we rush to do PR. That's for me.
Very well,
That's where my concern, my worry is.
Hamza, these persons we understand were picked up by the NIB after they failed to meet bail conditions, following questioning by the OSP.
Nana, before even I run commentary on that, permit me to state emphatically that when it comes to the politics of the National Democratic Congress and this new government, we appreciate that the responsibility placed on our shoulders is quite onerous. Those responsibilities are onerous in nature. And for that matter, we will not pretend to solve all the problems of our country in 6 months. But undoubtedly, we have made some significant improvements when it comes to our economic fundamentals. And when we talk about that, it is not the same thing as telling the good people of this country that we have solved all their problems in 6 months. We are very sensitive to the needs of the Ghanaian people. We still know that many of our youth are still out there who are unemployed and hoping that this government creates opportunities for them to better their lives. We know that many of our farmers are still out there expecting government to eventually roll out its policies in the agriculture sector to be able to affect the professions in which they find themselves. So we know that the expectations are quite onerous. So it is not right for my brother to seek to create the impression that we speak as though we have solved all the problems of the country.
Very well.
So unlike them, he used to tell us, for instance, in the educational sector, that they have done so well that the educational sector of Ghana was suddenly one of the best under them. But a month or two ago, on the same platform, he himself had to expose the inherent weaknesses in our educational sector, forgetting that in the run-up to the elections, he was up in arms against the NDC, convincing the good people of this country about how well they had done in that regard. So we are not like them. We are learning carefully from the kind of excesses that they drove this country into. And so we'll do everything within our power not to be arrogant in terms of our communication of our achievements so far, because we still know that there are so many lives out there that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and his government is still committed to touching. Now, to the recent issue. Sometimes it is difficult to follow the politics of the NPP. Not long ago, when the BNI started arrests, in some cases even at the airports, you remember the likes of Afenyo Makin calling on the BNI to stop operating as though it is in a military regime and that they must be willing to give reasons why certain individuals are picked up. I was on another platform with the director of communications of the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiagba, who also indicated that the time has come for us to consider ensuring that the investigative bodies establish PR units to keep the public abreast with their activities. Today, you have the institutions responding to these calls. Responding to these calls made by the New Patriotic Party, but simply keeping the citizens aware of what is happening. And my brother says that the time has come for us to move away from that. So there seems to be no cohesion in terms of even what the NPP as a political party wants us to do as a country.
What is the thing that I'm saying?
Dennis,
you have this one.
Let's
so sometimes it is difficult to follow them and to know exactly what they want. And that is why it is important for them to come together, sit, and have a uniform position on national issues so that we can effectively engage with them for the betterment of our democracy and our people. It is important because these were the demands of their leaders. So what is wrong if a state agency today, after arresting suspects, proceeds on the basis of your own earlier call to keep the citizenry posted as to why these individuals were picked up? In any case, I do not think that the state investigative bodies are those in charge of the editorial policies of these newspapers.
No.
And these individuals, in most cases, also have families. So if the media men, by dint of hard work, are able to discover that certain individuals have been picked up, And even families under certain circumstances want attention to be brought on it, because they feel that if their attention is brought on it, they will get the needed attention and put pressure on our investigative bodies to release these individuals. They themselves take these stories to the media for the media to blow out. So how is it connected to the OSP? How? Even in developed economies or developed countries where democracy is flourishing, these things happen. I do not see why we are attempting to criminalize it. On daily basis, even in Accra, we wake up to horrifying stories of our citizens on front pages of newspapers, either being arrested in Takoradi or Ashanti region for stealing a mobile phone or stealing a chicken or stealing a cow. Someone alleged or accused of raping a child on the front pages. You don't complain about it. Why is it that when it comes to the political class, those who have sworn to uphold the principles of accountability and probity in public life and are already given certain privileges in discharging those duties, when the time for reckoning comes, suddenly there's a need for us to look at our modus operandi? What about the downtrodden? What about the everyday Ghanaian? When they are arrested on allegations of crime and what's the name, shown on our national television stations, newspapers, do we condemn it? Do we call for a change of attitude? We cannot have a certain laid down rules and regulations applicable to a certain group of people, especially those who are supposed to be servants to the good people of this country. I do not subscribe to that. Until such a time that we agree that these things be banned, let it apply to all of us equally. I do not have a problem. You see, not long ago in the United States of America, even a member of parliament was arrested forcibly. I think a week or two ago, a governor or so, no, I think it has to do with a senator in the US, picked up, flashed on front pages of newspapers. There's nothing wrong with that. In established democracies, indeed, state prosecutors organize press conferences to keep the nation informed of their investigations or actions before the law courts. It is not out of the ordinary. So I do not think that we should over-dramatize it. When it comes to the SML issue, these are questions that you agree that we need to find answers to, because you do not have a situation where an operative of the state, Ghana Revenue Authority, advises the same government to enter into a contractual obligation with a private company. And by the time the contract is done, that same individual leaves that public responsibility and goes and is an official of that private entity that he convenes government to get into business with. So we must be interested in knowing what happened. Again, this is a company that told the whole country that as a result of its revenue assurance initiatives, they saved this country some money. Only for an investigation to be carried out, for us to realize that even in the midst of the hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis that we are paying to them, they actually did nothing for these monies to be paid to them. And that is the more reason why I was hoping that my brother would have used his time in the spirit of transparency and accountability to call on the former finance minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, to return to this country.
But has he told you he will not return? But why are you doing that?
Please. You see, you could have urged him. That's what I'm saying. That it is important to urge him to come.
Why he's not in the country?
You see, we all know that it is a ruse. Even you know.
Oh, but his wife
Suddenly,
has told us that the surgery was successful.
Oh, my brother. He knows. Even Dr. Mahmoud, the vice president, who fell sick
What happened to him
between 2017 and 2020, was flown back to the country in a matter of a week. Now, the point I am making, Nana, to conclude.
You invited me.
You see, he's distracted.
He invited me and mentioned me.
You see, Nana, the point I am making is that when it comes to issues of accountability, what I expect from our colleagues in the NPP is for them to partner this government, because if it is even in their own interest as a political party, for us to help take out elements that contributed in making their party unattractive in the last 8 years. It is in their interest as well. It's not just in the interest of the NDC and the state. It is in their interest as well. If indeed they are committed to transformation, they must be supporting this government in that way. Because I'm convinced, seated here, that my brother is not proud about that SML contract.
Very well. Very well.
Knowing him, he cannot be proud about that SML contract.
Thank you, Hamza. I don't know details.
Thank you, Hamza. Thank you.
You don't know details. When you were the director of
so I don't know details about
to run away from.
No, I am not. But I don't know details. Have you seen the contract? Do you know everything about the SML? You've seen it, and then you're not proud of it. What do you know about the contract? I haven't seen it.
That's fine. Gentlemen, please. Our time is almost up. Let's move to our final subject.
Politics of confidence. But let me land.
Oh, not how you got 10 minutes.
I thought you had landed.
No, I have not. Please.
10 seconds.
You see, Nana, I agree with him that maybe we would have to engage further in terms of the politics of vengeance. But I do not think that this government is engaged in any politics of vendetta.
Thank you.
We are driven by our quest to ensure probity and accountability.
Thank you, Hamza. Dennis, your party is warning flag bearer hopefuls and aspirants over growing tensions. Are there growing tensions? And were you at the meeting by Kwame Pianim yesterday?
And why this morning we have 2.5% increase in electricity tariff. You want to discuss MPP? Let's ask Hamza whether he belongs.
You have just one.
No, answer. Yes. So let me use it for.
Don't invite him to this.
I will. Then he can do whatever he wants to do. Julius Debra and Seydou Ketia, where do you belong?
Where?
Julius Debra and Seydou Ketia.
Belong as well. Belong to the National Democratic.
Which of them do you support for the presidential candidacy?
Which presidential?
You don't support Julius Debra.
For which president?
They are going to run. Why have you opened primaries?
But your people are
But they said Ketia was in parliament lobbying MPs. Why? We don't know.
Lobbying MPs?
Yeah, in parliament. What are you talking about? Why? We don't know.
He's the national chairman.
We don't know that he's lobbying to the president. We don't know that Julius Debra is lobbying to the president.
How did you meet?
No, but he hasn't answered mine. You want me to?
Are you the host of the show?
The meeting with Kwame Pianim. And of course, the warning by your party.
I wasn't there.
We saw Dr. Bawumia, Kenneth Japon, Brian Echampong.
So they are the people who were there. They are those who were in the meeting.
You don't have a report on it, so
no, I don't. But what I know is that we're likely to have our nominations opened immediately after the 7th of July conference, and then afterwards, we'll have some 6 months to elect the next flag bearer.
Is that ample time for the aspirants to campaign?
Oh, politicians are always doing politics. Even once it's the same time.
There's no off-season.
No. There's not. That's why people are hungry, but he's still doing politics here. There's no off-season. He has one power, but he's still doing politics when he's supposed to be giving us food to eat and giving us roads. So there's no off-season. But what the directive yesterday sought to do was to sort of try to bring some guidelines and guidance. When you leave politicians to go out there and muscle things out, it can get a bit, chaotic. So the party is leading that conversation, but we're all preparing for it. It will be 6 months, and afterwards we'll be ready to remove this incompetent group.
You come out united, strong.
Like we always do. We always do. Then we'll come and watch them and wait for the days that he's afraid. As he sits here, he is afraid to admit.
Yes, is here to unfold.
But he's unfolding already. He cannot admit. He's unfolding. Why is Mahama going to run again?
No.
Exactly. So he knows where he belongs to.
Do you know whether Mahama will run or not?
But the constitution.
But he cannot run.
No, I'm just asking him.
He cannot run.
I don't know that.
He cannot run.
That's the constitution.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are we to be worried
about what?
You have asked a very important question. We won't gloss over it.
That what?
That will he run again?
He's not processing what he said. He's not processing it. Why? Why are you asking?
That question is
again? Legitimate.
Will Mahama run again?
I don't know.
Why?
Because I don't know.
But can he run again?
I don't know.
How?
Hamza, you're a lawyer. You do not know.
I don't know.
Nana, can he
this is a very serious.
Very well.
It's a very serious. In any case,
let's deal with MPP matters.
You see.
You can't deal with MPP. He's not an MPP man.
But he's an interested person.
He should explain why. He should explain why, as a lawyer, he say he doesn't know whether Mahama will run again or not.
Because that's what lawyers do. We do not rush. We do not rush. We do not rush.
No, he cannot. He will not.
Pronouncements on issues.
He cannot. He will not. He doesn't have that right.
I said that. 1 minute. I can't tell.
Why? Thoughts on the MPP?
Because I can't tell.
But that is insincerity.
Why?
You are a lawyer. You know the law.
You see, Nana. You see.
Our greatest fear is about
this. I am worried. I am worried about the future of the New Patriotic Party. On a daily basis, you wake up to the reality that there is a huge leadership vacuum in the New Patriotic Party since Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia became the flag bearer in the last election. And that is worrying. I remember vividly in 2007, the NPP's presidential primaries and how His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo eventually emerged. And even after 2008, when he lost that election, it was clear about where power resided in the politics of the NPP. I did not see a situation where certain elders of the New Patriotic Party calling His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and other presidential contenders to broker peace, because his leadership of the party was never in doubt from day one. He was seen as a major stakeholder of the politics of the NPP. But what were we now being subjected to after the 2024 election? A daily reminder of how their last flag bearer has to consistently fight to assert or to ensure acceptance within the politics of the NPP. So yesterday for me, when I saw the pictures, I was like, what the hell is happening in the New Patriotic Party? Why would they, on daily basis, continue to debase the authority of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in this light? And why would he allow himself to be subjected to this unacceptable degradation of his authority and influence within the politics of the NPP? But then again, who would you blame? This is a gentleman who gave his all to the political party NPP and led their propaganda machinery of deceit and lies since 2009. That eventually saw to the election of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and kept that propaganda machinery alive even as a sitting vice president. But today, the party is finding it difficult to even accept him as the ordained leader. If it were to be any other flag bearer, the problems Dr. Bawumia is enduring, trust me, no such flag bearer would have endured such problems.
Well, thank you.
So, my brother, I pity you. And I sympathize with you, and I am with you on this.
Thank you.
The time has come for you guys to set for influence in the past.
You were saying,
gentlemen, please.
You heard me.
So, the struggles, the internal struggles within our political parties are quite disappointing. Disappointing because it is not about what they can do to improve the lot of Ghanaians when they win power, but it is about what they can do to get power and to appropriate the resources of this country onto themselves. Because if you listen to all the internal struggles within the party, nothing is being said about our ideological position. What should we do when we win power? It's all about let's grab power. So for me, these are worrying trends. And it's also disappointing because our politics has become highly influenced by money. And yet we have a Political Parties Act in this country, Act 574, which regulates the practice of political parties. And if you go to Section 21 of that law, it talks about accounting and how they should bring in returns of their financial auditing and issues like that to the EC. The EC, in all its 30 years, has not said anything about those provisions in the Act. So I think that we need the EC to set up and to begin to look at our political parties to ensure that they are acting properly and in the supreme interest of the people of this country. They cannot act as authorities unto themselves, but they should be acting appropriately to ensure that when we elect them, they will govern this country properly.
Very well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this morning, your submissions, your contributions. Absolutely fantastic show this morning. This is the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. We're wrapping it up here, but there's so much more on the show for you. Please stay.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Imagine walking into a secure environment you call your own, a home where you are in charge of your own security. But while you dream of a brighter future, shadows could be lurking at your doorsteps and windows. With real-time alerts and a professional response team ready to act, your home is protected around the clock, whether you're away or asleep. Don't wait for safety. Create it. Installed by professionals, our systems integrate seamlessly into your home, guarding every nook and cranny. And with our rent-to-own plan, this unmatched security comes with no burdensome upfront cost. Enjoy your safety, payment at your own pace, and peace of mind. Plus, our theft guarantee protection ensures you're covered in case of any loss, giving you even more peace of mind. Secure your home with Home Shield. Make peaceful sleep a habit, knowing we stand guard. Response 1, protecting your world 24/7.
Let's get into the world of sports like never before.
You know how we do it on Fridays.
Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. on 97.3 City FM for Sports Panorama, your ultimate destination for all things sports.
One of the biggest scandals in this country's history. You can't spend 250 million USD and come out with that.
From the thrill of association football to the excitement of basketball, tennis, athletics, and even emerging sports, we cover it all. Whether it's the Premier League or the latest NBA showdown, we bring you the stories behind the stars.
Getting an opportunity to become a national team coach, you should understand the politics around football.
And don't miss the prayer of the rabbi.
Joe was Zebaut. How Zebaut there? Zebaut won Chaboke.
We're not just about the games, we're about the community.
If you are going to be given this kind of treatment, then you need to be that guy. When I look at him play, he is not it.
Or when it's time for Don't Call Me.
Join
the conversation as we connect with fans across the country and beyond. Want the latest updates? Send us your thoughts and we'll feature your comments live on air. And remember, we like to hear your predictions for matches and your thoughts in general. Think you know who's going to win? Let us know.
Big shout outs to my YouTube people.
Tune in every Friday at 7 p.m. only on 97.3 City FM. Sports Panorama, where sports come alive. Amen. Sports Panorama, your weekly sports fix. Don't miss out on the action. Sports Panorama. Catch the excitement every Friday.
Welcome. It's Play to 8.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to 8, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, play to 8. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to 8 every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to 8 game show is proudly sponsored by Tank Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
Once more, good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. You are still watching Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Chris Carter.
And I am Philip Nihilate. Chris, what do we have today? A lot, right?
Yeah, we actually have a lot for you today, and we hope that you are excited as we are excited to be here with you. So do well, and also feel free to send in your messages. It could be heartfelt messages, it could be questions, it could be contributions to the show, and it could just be your thoughts. Send it via the WhatsApp number on the screen, and we will get to read it here. And do not forget that if you're watching us on YouTube live right now, you have the comment section right there. You better use it. Send us what's on your mind, your opinions, and everything yeah. All right. So, Philip, are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. So we can't start the show without thanking you. Every now and then we still have to thank you for what you did for us by showing up at Agri-Fair 2025. It was just amazing that we saw you in your numbers there. You ensured that the exhibitors and also the vendors who came there got to sell. You came in there to buy. And we are so much grateful that you were able to show up. For me, I'm still getting review that people are still calling for this event to be repeated. Before the year ends, people are saying that, well, let's repeat this event before the year ends so we can prepare for our Christmas. Well, let's see what management is going to do. But we are still grateful to our sponsors, Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, Development Bank Ghana, Agri Impact Limited, the Horticulture Business Platform, and Trillium Ghana Limited, with a technology partner that is Farmerline. So we can't say much, but thank you.
Yeah, and we want to remind you that the City Business Festival is still on right here on Channel 1 TV and City 97.3 FM in partnership with APSA. It's, it started from the 1st of June. It's going to be running through the 30th of June 2025. And this is all about business. Everything that you need to know about business. We'll be talking to stakeholders, and also they will be giving us insights of different industries and advice on what to do when you want to get into the industry or even know more about the industry. And talking about all that, that's how come we have the City Business Festival On Air series. So the On Air series actually run each day at 9 a.m. on radio, City 97.3 FM, and at 10 a.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. So today's topic on the On Air series will be digital skills needed to survive in today's economy. And we are going to be speaking to Maximus Ametogo, who is a digital strategist. So you definitely do not want to miss this this morning. It will start on radio. That means it started on radio already.
Yes, on radio already,
If you want to catch it right now, you can just go on radio right now. But if you don't have time to catch it on radio, just stick and stay with us right here because it's going to be shown live right at 10 a.m. Yeah. And I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, APSA, MTN, and Zonda.
So that's it for what we have today by way of introduction. City Business Month is still ongoing. If you haven't been paying attention, well, we just have some few days to end the month of June. So you should ensure that you stay here and learn a lot to upgrade that business you are into, or to also enrich the knowledge you have for your business. But let's bring you the video of the day, then we continue with the show. So issues with the kind of vehicles we have on our road.
Wow.
We had a report filed by Elizabeth Okansey of the City Newsroom. She did a story on rickety vehicle, and you could tell the kind of vehicles we have on our roads. Look at the dangers associated to what exactly we just saw not long ago, the vehicle tilting. That means the load is that much, the road is not good, and all that. So what happens to the life of the people in there?
Yeah, I really wish we got the whole view of the video, maybe to the end, to see what really happened, because the tire were already lifting on one side.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Wow. Anyway, be careful out there.
And know the kind of vehicles you sit in, actually. Yeah.
And also know the kind of vehicles that you park beside, because imagine driving beside this kind of vehicle.
Actually don't
very, very
like
scary.
driving close to the
trucks?
The trucks, especially the ones with containers on them. I would never. I'll give you gap. I'll give you space. You can honk at me at what I won't get close. I will not park close to it. I will not drive close to it, because you don't know whether it has some loose ends, just a little turn, then it just falls on you. Because people are dying as a result of this.
We've actually seen a lot of disasters.
We should just be careful out there. Just be careful out there.
Right. All right, guys, so that's the video of the day. I know it's supposed to be humorous, but at the same time, it's teaching us some lessons, and I hope those that are in charge of the cars on the road should look out for some of this to prevent the dangers that we can actually clearly see. Anyway, right now it's time for us to, shake up our day with some music, and it's going to be coming from an Afrobeats artist called Ajuma. Enjoy.
Hey, lovely people. My name is Ajuma, and I'm super excited to be here. Enjoy this moment with me. Hey. Well, if a party me, I do it well proper. Me no look nobody face, no papa. Clean and dapper on my waist, lead and kappa. Man a ragamuffin, not a rapper. Check my settings, can't find no iOS. My ratings stronger than SOS. Girl I fly over for the same mood flex, and I data make a nest man vest. Cause me do me work. Ali dead. I no chicken, I no jack. Just do me work. People day when the sound boy drop it, who play shot like rocket. People day make the bad man clap it. Watch that girl them a twerk it. People day when the sound boy drop it, who play shot like rocket. People day make the bad man clap it. Watch that girl them a twerk it. Bass like alone, take up people shows and sleeper. Make them dance barefoot like Muta Baruka. Bad man play me not about soccer, not snooker. Rocker build green on come close. Don't know the Jamaica, them they dance the goalie creeper. As don't to down Wagana coupled up with a Kaida. Beam nation to the world, me and the leader. Me drop stop every road and make it feeder. Cause me do me work. Ali dead. I no chicken, I no jack. Just do me work. People day when the sun boy drop it, who play shot like rocket. People day make the bad man clap it. Watch the girl them a twerk it. People day when the sun boy drop it, who play shot like rocket. People day make the bad man clap it. Watch that girl, them a twerk it. Hey, big love to the Beam Nation president. Enough respect. Hey, bless His Imperial Majesty Beam. Yeah. Hey, hey, no capping, yeah. No capping. Hey, no capping. We don't see nobody, I mean nobody. Ajuma in the hood, they wanna know. Waiting up with the young man being a what? We hear the rumor say I cash $1. It be true lately, it be true lately, but we the roll with the real ones. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obi be a Eddie, ball away the dogs. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obibia, Eddie. A few moments in ye, I was a packing in Yemeni, free fear. Inity, I don't share no obey. Banchampis, I be do contumbre, Medina, no pam, or no copy. I brought bomb and I miss me bonnie. My foot, the ladder, my patribano go fall. Not a quid, I get busy, no darling. Wake up early morning, very busy morning. Searching for the money. Money, no time for the honey. No capping. We don't see nobody, I mean nobody. How'd you mind the hood? They wanna know. Waiting stop with the young man in your wallet. We hear the woman say, I cash $1. It be true lately, it be true lately, but we the roll with the real ones. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obibia, Eddie, balling with the dogs. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obibia, Eddie. Few moments in ye, I was a packing in Yemeni, free fear. Dinity, I don't share no obey. I be true contumbre, Medina, no pam, no copy. I brought bomb and I miss me bonnie. My foot, the ladder, my patribano go fall. I'm not a quid, I get busy, no darling. Wake up early morning, very busy morning. Searching for the money. Money, no time for the honey. Hey, we outside with it. You mind the hood? Hey, yeah. We outside with it. Hey, I do mind the hood? They wanna know. Waiting stop with the young man. Hey, we hear the rumor say I cash $1. It be true lately, it be true lately, but we the roll with the real ones. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obibia, Eddie, balling with the dogs. Everybody fit the reach, oh. Obibia, Eddie. Few moments in ye, but we sap again in Yemeni, free fear. Inity, I don't share no obey. Banchampis, I be true contumbre, Medina, no pam, no preach, oh. Obibia, Eddie. Few moments was it. Be any hole, one cry, never sue me, swing my man. Be any hole. My life, I know they see nobody. Live my life, I know they see nobody. One cry, never come me, queen, my man. Be any hole, one cry, never sue me, swing my man. Be any hole. My life, I know they see nobody. Live my life, I know they see nobody. Menkwana meku, echane juo, Rasta always know. Yasimu yesu, nani pada se ni krade tu. Nani pada se ni krade tu. I decide those days, as I dey walk out for the streets, searching for bread and butter. Nobody they look at me, be only God they matter. Keep that energy, while you come the fumble to the same guy stumble. Tambo shana manto, hypocrisy life na doso, found fool in a doso. You hate me today, you love me tomorrow. Fake life na doso. Why they make a they wonder how you go fi survive? You know get in this crazy world. Shakoni money says if I'm more than any to one pass. Send me buy a shishani pa. They try any pay mobia. Open any pen any issue. One dance home die. Send the puppet to my any set. Shakoni money says if I'm more than any to one pass. Send me buy a shishani pa. They try any pay mobia. Open any pen any issue. One dance home die. Send the puppet to my any set. Slowly panencho, slowly panencha, slowly panencho, slowly panencha, slowly panencho. Hey, we outside with it. Yeah, slowly pan still out there. find Shronipa, you know. Yeah. Live.
Live.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ajuma, how are you doing?
I'm very okay. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Looking nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the color of your dress.
Oh, guys. Guys, are you seeing what's happening on TV?
Oh.
Are you seeing what's happening? He said I look nice.
Yeah, you look nice.
All right,
very
thank
nice.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you
right,
very much.
so you are into Afrobeats, but I
Yeah.
see that you do like a mixture of things because you started with a bit of
that's why I go
reggae.
with, like Afro sounds, you know. Yeah.
So more of Afro sound.
The fusion of Afrobeat. Let's say Afro everything.
Afro everything.
Yeah.
Why are you doing Afro everything and not a particular genre?
So I would say like Afro sound chose me because whenever I try to sing, it's like I don't want to limit myself to just one genre, you know, because I know I can do multiples of genre. So that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
So who do you listen to? Who inspires you?
A lot like Daddy Lumba for sure, Sarkodie, Black Sheriff, a lot Stoneboy. I just performed Stoneboy, Shatawale, Samini, yeah, a couple, Black Sheriff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You've said Black Sheriff 2 times.
Oh, okay.
You must be really a big fan of Black Sheriff.
for
All right.
sure.
So that's good though. Now, when it comes to you, when did you realize that you can actually sing?
Okay, music has been my thing, like growing up, but everything started becoming serious. That was after SHS. So I would say, yeah, after SHS, that was when I realized.
That was what year?
2019, 2020, yeah.
So you've been doing music for like about 6 years?
6 years, yeah. But I would say professionally, 1 year now.
Professionally, 1 year.
Yeah.
And how has it been going?
It has been good. You know, I'm just loving the journey, you know. The journey is so nice, so I'm just loving the journey.
What's nice about the journey?
Everything.
Because a lot of people say the journey is hard, but you say the journey is nice. What's nice about this journey?
Everything is nice. No, I don't have to. Right now, I have a record label, you know, so I don't have to stress about some things. Recording time, you know, like interviews like this. I don't have to stress about it. Record labels are doing that. So yeah, it has been great.
Right, it has been great. So how many songs do you have ever since that you've joined the record label?
One. That was what I performed last. Shronipa.
Okay,
yeah.
Shronipa. And how's Shronipa doing in the market?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you measure that?
Like the numbers, you know.
The numbers. So what are the numbers right now? That's what I'm asking.
Amazing. You can check me out, yeah.
Yeah.
I did on YouTube everywhere. Yeah. And if you see the numbers, you say, oh.
Oh, you did try.
Yeah,
you
I did try.
Wow. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. And musically, who would you want to work with in the future?
Baby, like memorable.
Yeah.
Okay. The 4X, Shatawale, Stoneboy, Sarkodie.
Black Sheriff.
4X, I'm coming. Shatawale, Stoneboy, Sarkodie, Samini.
Okay.
Black Sheriff, Famille, Jackie, who again? So for now, I would say, yeah.
Wow. So I wish any of the reps of these guys are really watching, and then if you actually feel that he's got a shot to it, it would be nice to reach out to him. That would be nice. Or you reach out to them. Have you ever tried reaching out to them?
No, for now.
No, for now.
Yeah, as time they go on, I go try reach out because I'm open to collaboration. So yeah, for sure.
All right. So any albums or EP that you're working on?
Okay. Project they come, but I don't know, like, I don't really know it's EP or album, but for sure, project they come very soon. Yeah, very soon.
All right, that's nice. It was really nice talking to you guys. It was really nice talking to you. Shout out to you.
Yeah, Bujani, big love, Bujani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so you heard it from Ajuma. He's working on a project. Like he said, project they come, but you don't know, say, if it be EP or it be album, but something is cooking. All right, so go out there and support him. Go out to his social media handles. What's the social media handle?
On Instagram, it's Ajuma, itz.ajuma, AJUMA. On TikTok, Ajuma Music, AJUMA, the music. Then same on X. And I did on Snap too. Ajuma, it's Ajuma, itz.ajuma, AJUMA. Yeah. Link me up. I did active.
All right, that's nice. Just link up with him, follow him, and then watch him bloom through his music journey. And do not forget to stream his music because it's upcoming. This is the only way that they actually get to, you know, make money and feel appreciated. So stream their music. Don't go and download. Please stream their music and follow them on all streaming platforms. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from him. Thank you so much once more.
Thank you very
now
much.
Now it's time for us to move to something else. You know, we are still in the, you know, breeze of the Agri Fair, still talking of everything agriculture, especially from Ghana. We actually have a little docu for you where Vivian Kailoko visited Sankofa Natural Spice and Food. So check it out and we'll be right back. Hello,
welcome to the City Business Festival, another special edition where we are looking at the value chain of the agriculture sector. Today our focus is on processing, which is also within the value addition space. And we've come to this factory where we'll take you through the 360 of processing. Remember, our interest in agriculture because it's the heart of the economy. So I'm here at Sankofa Spices. In a bit, I'll take you through why I'm here and what exactly they do. I'm sure you're wondering what's behind me. Well, this is where the action starts, where the natural things they put into their spices come in, and then the process starts. I'll be right back. I am Vivian Kai Loco. Stay with us. Welcome back. So it's Sankofa Spices, and it's a spice processing plant. So it means that you have the smell and all that. And because we are going to a processing facility as well, we need to wear the appropriate gear. That's why you see me in my PPE. And one of the things I have to put on as a newbie to the spicing industry is to wear my mask as well because of the strong smell. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to introduce the guy behind what we see here. And then we'll start from there. So whilst I'm wearing my mask, hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for having us come into this space. I'm going to first ask, I see some boxes and all that. Well, what is happening here?
All right, so this is the beginning of everything we do.
Okay.
This is the warehouse for raw materials and some packaging materials.
Okay.
So that's why you see the cartons here, and then you see some of the raw materials that are just coming from the farm.
Okay. So processing is a big thing. We can walk through now. It's a big thing, and we see quite a few people attempting to enter into the industry. We see more people in the main value chain do the agriculture proper, but now we are seeing shoots of people going into it. Let me start by asking why you decided to go into the value addition and processing for that matter.
Okay, so I mean, the genesis of our business was to create a food company. And so we were looking at where we could build capabilities that would allow us to scale. We looked at farming and we looked at processing, and we realized that in between, we had an opportunity to do something different with spices and other farm products. And that's why we chose to go into the processing space.
Okay, and how long ago did this beautiful thing start?
So we started, we registered a company in 2014, but we actually started operations in 2017.
Okay. So I see this some loading from. So where are the natural spices coming from?
So about 70% of our spices come from local farmers in Ghana.
Okay.
But there are some particular spices that we don't produce in Ghana, so we bring them from outside.
Okay.
But majority of the spices come from Techiman, from our farm plains and other parts of the country. So when they come, we offload them, and then we take them to the raw materials warehouse.
Okay.
So,
So we're going in here. So you're talking about the natural spices from the Chechimans and all that.
Yeah.
Which ones? This is garlic?
No, so we
ginger?
have garlic, we have ginger, we have esrowisa, fomwisa, prekese, nkiti, rosemary, bay leaf, and the rest. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I can smell the spice.
Yeah, because everything is natural. I
Yeah.
mean, we use real spices, you know, so that's why you can smell it that way.
Right, okay. So you decided some years back to go into this space because you felt that being in that space was better. How has the journey been for you so far?
Well, I mean, like every other business, it's been difficult, it's been challenging, but it's also been worthwhile. I mean, we started from a fairly humble beginning.
Okay.
So we actually started from my grandmother's house, from her dining room, and then we were milling right under her stairs. And with time, we have evolved. So we've taken it a journey at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And between that point from grandmom's place to here, how has the journey been like for you?
Well, like I said, I mean, it's been quite intriguing. There were a lot of things that we didn't know when we started. New discoveries every day, but that's how we position the company, to learn and to improve by the day. And so generally it's been typical of a normal business, nothing extraordinary, but we take it a day at a time.
Okay. So what is going on here?
So this is a platform where after we have received the raw materials, we do all our quality checks, right? Once we finish doing the quality checks, the materials are brought here. This is where we do the main formulation. And that is why you get a variety of soup, chicken, stew, and all that. So this platform is where the magic really happens.
Okay. Okay, so let's see what's next in the next place.
All right.
So we're still with Sankofa Spices. We're in the processing plant. Remember, our focus for today's edition of the City Business Festival, whilst we're looking at the agri industry, is to look at the processing part of some of the produce from the agri industry. That's why we've come to Sankofa Spice. So Nana, what is happening here?
So once we finish the formulation, we do the mixing and the milling. So we formulate different spices. We use about 14 to 16 different spices. And then once we have formulated, it comes here for the milling and the mixing for us to get to the final product ready for packaging.
Okay, so this is milling and mixing.
Yeah.
How many different spices do you have being milled and mixed here?
So we work with about 10 different varieties for the Sankofa and then 5 different varieties for the Dedel.
All right. So after this point, I see these bags contain the mixed stuff, right?
But we don't produce the Dedel here. That is from another plant.
Okay.
This one is solely for the Sankofa spice.
Okay. So I see a container being opened. I see some veiling and all those things.
Yeah, so these are the raw materials that we use. The numbers that you see there is to identify the batch and the variety that we are working on. But you can see mainly it's all about pepper, bay leaf, coriander, rosemary, and all the natural spices. And we don't add anything else apart from the natural spices. So that's all we do. Right. So everything that you see here is 100% natural, coming from our local farms.
Okay. Yeah. So how long does it stay on the shelf? Because it's dry, it can stay on for a very long time, right?
One of the things we check is the moisture. So once the moisture is right to the level that is required and accepted by FDA and Ghana Standard Authority and the Food Research Institute, it can stay on the shelf for about 2 years or more.
Okay. And what are these bags?
Yeah, so once they are milled, we hold them here for them to be tested in the lab for microbials and other things that could go wrong before we pass them for packaging.
Okay, all right. So what is he doing there?
Yeah, so they mainly take records of everything that we do. Records is one of the critical things of our business because of the different varieties and the different things we do. So they do the record taking before the information is passed on to the packaging to work with.
Okay, so we move now to the next
packaging floor.
Okay. So we're still at Sankofa Spice and we're looking at the processing part of agriculture and using spices as our focus for today. I'm still with Nana. He's taking me through the issues in the industry, the processes and all that. Nana, what's happening here?
Yeah, so this is where we do the packaging. Once the spices are formulated, they are mixed and
focus for today. I'm still with Nana. He's taking me through the issues in the industry, the process.
Yeah, so this is where we do the packaging. These are formulated and milled. These are done. So this so the spices is fed into the machine, and then the packaging materials is worked on, is fully automated, and then the product comes out at the final.
All right. Now, for somebody watching and wanting to go into the processing part, what are the main components of elements of processing in this industry?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the first thing is paying attention to details, quality, safety, because at the end of the day, it's food that you are producing. So attention to details is quite critical, and that forms the basis in my view.
Okay.
You know, because you can do everything, but when you don't pay attention to what you're doing, then you'll be giving the customers the wrong products.
Yeah.
So quality and attention to details is quite critical to what we do here.
A lot of people are afraid to go into the industry because of the capital intensiveness of it. I see equipment, I see you're infusing a lot of technology, and this is a whole different ball game. Tell us how that whole element is crucial and why people find it difficult to go in there?
All right, so I think capital will always remain a problem in industry. But for somebody trying to start it, just like starting anything else, you have to start from somewhere. We didn't get up one day to get to where we are. We started from somewhere. But along the way too, you have to make yourself available to strategic partnerships. We've had some investments coming from local investors. For example, we had a good partnership with Quick Angels, which has been very fantastic in terms of the relationship we have and the funding that came in the very early stages. So that gave us a good start, you know. So I think sometimes people are a bit skeptical about partnering with others. But indeed, if you really want to go far and go fast, partnership is quite critical, you know, and that has been the bedrock of what we do. So we have different products and we have different arrangements or structures that enables us to work together. And the banks have also been quite helpful. Not too helpful, but at least to some extent.
But access to equipment, how easy is it knowing what equipment to go into? I mean, the research involved in this whole equipment part too.
Yeah, I think one thing that we have been lucky with is the kind of people we have working with. We have really good people and they are really smart and dedicated to what we are trying to do here. So the research comes quite seamlessly because they are committed to what we're doing and they know exactly what they do. I am not a food person, but I have great people who understand the food space and understand the machines and they advise, and I try to take their advice every day.
And then manning the equipment. Do you put that into consideration when you're buying the equipment? Because some of the equipment can be very not very friendly to use, very technical and all that. What goes into that as well?
Yeah, so we have engineers in-house. We have about 6 full-time engineers. They work 24/7 with our team, so they understand the machines. And because they are in-house, they are always with the machines. And so, as the saying goes, a machine is an engineer's best friend. Yeah. So they get to know the machines and they're able to operate them better.
Now, I'm looking at your machines. You were telling us earlier that you've come through to different stages, starting from another and then to these modern ones. Take us through that.
Yeah, so we started off with one machine. It was a very outmoded machine, let me call it one, because we lacked the cash to do it. But with time and with advice, we've been able to migrate into more
modern ones.
Yeah, more modern ones, and ones that are more automatic in their performance.
Okay, so take us through what is happening here. I see the machines in use, but I see some of the workers, you know, feeding it. How does that work?
Yeah, so once the raw materials or the meal spices are certified by a quality team, they are brought in here. And all the materials you see are in batches. They have different batches and different codes, representing different materials or different varieties, different times of production, and they are all queued. Okay. So we have a software that guides the production process, which means that whatever is here is supposed to be here.
Okay.
And so you can see we have a very simple production space, but the complexity is in the back room.
Okay.
All right. So then we release what materials must be produced at the time that is supposed to be produced. So it's just in time.
Okay.
So whatever comes to the floor needs to be produced within the next 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay.
And then it is done. So once they are brought here, they are fed into the machine, and the machine takes it from there.
Okay. So I presume this is a 24-hour facility.
Yeah. So we do 24/7.
All right. Okay. So they put it into that, bring it out, and then what? Put it in the boxes, and that's it.
So once the product gets into the machine, there's no longer human interference.
Okay.
And then it comes out as a finished product in the sachets.
Okay.
And then the human beings take it from there, and then they package it for the market.
Oh wow! So, Nana, your process looks pretty simple. Walking through your process, I feel I've done 4. The beginning where, and we can walk as we go.
Yeah.
The beginning where they brought in the things, then the storage to where they mix and check all those things, and then here, the machines, and then put in the boxes, and then ready for the market. So I have counted 4.
Yeah.
But in processing, is that really what it is?
No, it is not what you see. We actually have about 15 different steps and a lot of quality checks in between.
Okay.
Now the trick is planning. We are here because we spend a lot of time planning. And so when you look at our production system, you will see that's very simple, 4 steps to the eye. But behind the system is about 14 to 15 different steps. And in between are a lot of quality checks and a lot of checks to ensure consistency. So we do a lot of work behind the scenes, but it looks simple. And I think that was one of the things we focused on from day one. How do we move from the complex to simple, to enable the people that work to do it effectively and efficiently and at reasonable time? And those questions that we started asking very early on led us to develop systems, processes, and structures to get us to where we are. So it looks very simple, but it is not.
Okay. It's still the City Business Festival. I'm still at Sankofa Spices. I'm here with Nana. He owns the place. We'll take a quick break. Remember that our focus also for this year's edition is to bring you the practical feel of the agri industry, including the other elements in the value chain. So we brought you processing, we brought you the farm itself, going to the farm. We've taken you to other places to go through their value chain before they hit the market. And of course, today we are at Sankofa Spices. When we come back, we'll look at the other issues in the processing space. If you want to go into that space, what you're likely to encounter and how you can maneuver, speaking to the experts who have done it for years. Stay with us, we'll be right back. So it looks pretty simple, but pretty complicated from the back. They always say if it looks simple, a lot of work has been put in there. But there are other elements of processing that I'm going to talk to you about. One of is research, what goes into that, the labs and all that. So let's go in there and see that element as well. So Nana, I say we've come here. Where is this and what?
Yeah. So this is the quality lab.
Okay.
By in here we call it product and process integrity lab.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the integrity of the products that go out are quite crucial to what we do. We produce food. So at every stage of our production, from the warehouse all the way through all the processing steps, require certain quality checks. So once you are here we check for a lot of things. We check for the moisture contents, we check for microbials and other things. I think the people who work here will be in a better position to explain to you what it is.
So there's a lot of science in the processing. Isn't that the reason why a lot of people are running away from the processing? Because from what you're saying, a lot goes in here to make sure what you put on the market ticks all the boxes in terms of quality control, quality, everything.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we put out there is for human beings. We also consume it.
Yeah.
And so quality is quite crucial. I don't think it's scary. I think it's a necessary evil in the industry because we do food.
Yeah.
And so we invest a lot of resources and we try to get the right people to run the quality checks and make sure that the products that are going there are wholesome. And that's why we don't stop at quality, but we call it product and process integrity. Because the integrity of the product is what we are after. And so people must consume it and must get a full benefit of it without any side effect.
Okay.
And
Thank you. Let me speak to your lady, and you say this part is not your part again. No. So we'll speak to her to give us details. Now, quality control appears to be very important in what you do. Why?
Okay, so for quality control, we are mainly focused on the end products. That is our spices, the soup, the stew, the noodles, and then the all-purpose spices. And very important because we don't want food safety to be compromised. So we have to make sure that what we are doing here is of quality and it also meets standard.
Okay. So what exactly happens? I see a lot of labels. Do you remember what is,
Yes, these are our samples, from the production floor. And we have labels on all of them. So for instance, you can see SGG here. It means ginger garlic. We also have SG here. It means stew. So we sample our products from the production floor. We bring them here for analysis. This is moisture analyzer. So we check the amount of moisture available in the products that can actually cause microbial growth. So if the moisture content is below 12, the product is okay. It's good for consumption. If it is above 12, it means that moisture content has been compromised. And so we have to take them back to the production floor for re-drying, so that the moisture content can be reduced to below 12.
But sometimes you open certain products and it's very hard, or you can see the moisture in the, what happened along that line?
If the product is very hard, that means that the milling was not done properly.
Okay.
So we have to prompt those at the floor for them to do the milling well before we can actually proceed with the analysis.
Okay, okay. And if it's moist, how did, that means your quality was compromised at the point,
Yes,
right?
at the production floor, probably maybe from the raw material point to where they actually mill or mix the spices blends.
Okay.
And so for here, we have the natural ingredients like cloves, ginger, we have garlic, we also have anise seeds, thyme. So they all come together to form our spices blend. Yes, please.
So every second, somebody has to be here to make sure whatever is going ticks their boxes here.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, but then it's actually my work and it's fun doing this. That is my background.
All right, thank you so much and keep up the good work.
Thank you for having me.
So
also.
processing is not easy, but it's worth it if you get it right. We'll move to another part of the whole process of processing, when to bring to your attention what you need to understand in this industry. Come along. It's still the City Business Festival, focuses on the agriculture sector and processing for that matter. Still at Sankofa Spices, looking at the processing fraternity here in Ghana. And I'm still with Nana, who's been with us throughout the day. We're taking him off his busy schedule to take us through the whole processing fraternity. So if you want to go into it, what it entails, and this is specifically to the food industry and spices. So Nana, we've come to what you say the future. So where is this?
So this is what we call the Future Lab.
Okay.
Otherwise known as R&D Lab.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's where we develop the next generation of products
Okay.
for the business.
So usually in this industry, that is necessary if you're looking medium long term, right?
Yeah, I mean it's critical to us. I mean it's very critical and it's also very strategic because we don't see ourselves as a spice company. We are a food company, and so we are looking at the entire food value chain from the farm all the way to the plate. Yeah.
So what goes in here? What goes into this?
This is where we do a lot of experiments.
Okay.
So we experiment with raw materials, we experiment with packaging materials, and we just sort of play around.
I'm sure you experiment with equipment too.
Yeah, with equipment. So, so we try what works, and then when it's working, we scale it or we introduce it to the market. So this is where all the magic happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So typically, what's been the shortest period you have finalized on a product, and the longest?
Okay, so
If you remember.
it's always between 3 years and 1 year. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, some of the products go a long way. We start all the way like 3 years ago, 4 years, and some we are still working on them.
Okay. Tell us more about the role of innovation in this business.
All right, so I mean, it's food, all right? The way people consume, the way they handle, the way they understand, and the way they use food. And so you always have to be evolving because people change. Their taste buds change, the way they see food changes, and so you have to be growing with time, which means that innovation is at the heart of everything we do. One of the first facilities we put up was the space.
Oh, wow.
Because for us, we may not be able to predict the future, but we can work our way into the future. And so innovation is quite at the heart of what we do.
Okay. Well, what do we have around here?
Yeah, so this is a spray dryer.
Okay.
And it's used to convert liquids into powder. All right, so it's one of the equipments we brought in our new products that we are developing. We've recently introduced a new product that's OCM cereals, where we've been able to take the normal Tom Brown, the oats, the wheat that we cook every day to make it easy to consume. So now we just have it in a sachet, you pour it, you add your hot water, and it's ready to eat. So this was one of the equipments we bought in an attempt to understand how we can convert liquids into solids.
Let's talk about the issue about the local industry and then moving to exports and all that, and how it is in this industry.
Yeah, I mean, for the food industry, there's opportunity everywhere. People eat all over the world.
Yeah.
And the good news is that across Africa, we have similar taste buds and similar cuisines. The same applies to those of our family members abroad. And so there's huge opportunity for the local markets, but there's even a bigger market out there that goes beyond Ghana.
Right. But in every sector, they say there are challenges, you know, in the environment and all that. Walk us through some of the key challenges and how you feel that policymakers, etc., can look at these challenges to make the industry better.
All right, so the first thing is always funding.
Okay.
All right. And once you scale the funding level, then you look at other things. And funding in the sense that sometimes it's very difficult to get the funding that you require. There are no organized systems or structures that allow for startups to get funding.
Okay.
The requirements are a lot. There are very few companies or few investors that are willing to take the risk. I told you about my journey and the fact that we were very lucky. We got a very good investor at the beginning who understood the need for risk taking, because the new venture could go anyway. And Ghanaians are quite reserved, and, you know, so they are conservative,
very careful,
very careful. Yeah. So
taking risks, actually.
Yeah, so sometimes it's quite difficult. You can also go to the market, like you have the stock exchange elsewhere. It's not as active as it is elsewhere. You've got to attain a certain level of revenue level before you can access funding. So funding was initially critical. It's still a challenge, but we are scaling it every day. Another area is people. And for me, I'm very big on people because everything we do here is done by people. Getting the right people, getting the right people with the right mental models and the right mindset. Sometimes it's tricky. There's this attitude that people expect something for nothing. People are not willing to put in the work. They are not willing to roll their sleeves and get dirty and do what is required. And the way people think. So that was a hurdle. And we identified that from day one, that one of our biggest challenge beyond funding was people, getting the people right. And so we are very heavy on training. We're very heavy on mentoring and things that will get people to think in the right places. I think the typical Ghanaian is quite smart and intelligent and can get things done.
Okay.
But sometimes the thinking is not in the right place.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I've been given something. So this is one of your new products, is it?
Yeah.
Well, what is in this?
So, I mean, the genesis of this company really started with tea.
Okay.
Where we did moringa tea, lemongrass tea, and hibiscus. So what you're drinking here is tea leaves. It's our new product that we've introduced into the market. It's iced tea.
And it's really nice.
Yeah, so
and it's got some spicy.
So this is sobolo.
Okay.
What we call sobolo, typically. So it's hibiscus and spices. So what we've been able to do is to take the capabilities we've developed in spices to convert it into a ready-to-drink beverage. Yeah.
So
and it's very healthy.
One of the things that was discovered here.
Was discovered here by the people here, young people here. I think the average age is like 28.
Oh, okay.
And they made it happen. So.
Right. Okay. So you're telling us about the two things. You're talking about funding the people, and what else?
Yeah, so it's funding people, and of course, the general economic environment, which is unpredictable in most cases. But I guess that is something that business people should learn to deal with. So I don't really dwell on that. We spend a lot of time on our people, all right? Because once you get the people right, everything works nicely because they get the things done.
The economy, the city is doing pretty well now.
Yeah.
You're more on the local, but you're exporting.
Yeah. So
it's dangly one for you.
There's always a trade-off. There's always a trade-off.
Yeah.
It's doing well for when you are importing machinery and raw materials and stuff, but it's also tricky when you are exporting because the value is sort of eroded because of the rates. And so it's just what it is, I guess. You've got to lose some to gain some. Yeah.
Well, what about infrastructure, power and all that? That's pretty expensive, running a processing plant.
Power is always an issue, especially here, because we are connected to the Kaswa grid, and sometimes it's quite erratic. So we rely a lot on gensets to keep production going in a continuous fashion, and that is also very expensive to run. We've installed some solar facilities, especially in the accommodation where our associates and workers live. But then that's also very capital intensive. So power is always an issue. And it's okay when you know when it's going off so you can plan. But it goes on, the generator comes on, and then it goes off. Then the generator comes on again. So that on and off also affects your machines.
That's right.
And so you have to invest a lot of money in power guards to keep the power stable, even when it fluctuates.
Right.
Yeah, so that's an issue.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Now, let's stick a bit with innovation. I'm going to bring in a lady who is big in the value chain. Remember, we spoke to her earlier at Hendy, where she plays a role in SMEs also along that value chain, how they can make things better for themselves. And with the big boys and girls, she's also there because an aspect of her business also looks at innovation. So let me bring in Mavis. Mavis, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Innovation. How does your initiative tie up in all of this to make the industry a good one?
Well, we want to make it easy for agribusinesses. We all know that they have so many challenges, right from sourcing of raw materials and even having the right skills, the right competencies, the right technologies, and the right mindset around innovation. I believe that research should translate into outputs that industry can adopt. And over the years, we know that there's been such a wide gap between industry and research or innovation. So really, we're just here to bring the two closer to each other. We leverage on research, on technology, on innovation to come out with outputs that MSMEs can adopt, so it's easier for them. You don't have to figure it out all by yourself.
How has that journey been? Because that's a pretty huge one you're working on.
It's been an interesting and fulfilling journey. The reason being that coming from background of research and academia, I was a principal research scientist previously, and being able to see how my research can now end up, from farm to plate is really fulfilling. So for me, quality is big, nurturing as well as innovation. So that's what I bring to the space, to help agribusinesses to leverage on these three and then make sure that they can come up with products that consumers would like. But we figure it out for them.
For people who are interested in wanting to be part of what you do to help what they are doing, how do they get in touch with you?
We are all over. If you want to, come to us, it's quite easy. Call us on 0244-646016. We're around Chado Roundabout, the Mpuntu Technologies building. But the amazing thing is we are bringing our skills and expertise to you. We are organizing in July, which is next month, from the 9th to the 12th, an agribusiness launch pad and an accelerator program, where we're going to help SMEs like yourself, you watching out there, thinking, I have a product idea, I want to go into agribusiness as a second income or as a main income, or maybe you're on pension and you want something to do. This program is designed for you. We're working with City FM, Channel 1 TV, to make sure that you can get this message and sign up. Go to our website, www.impactfoodhub.com. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mavis, and thank you to Nana. Thank you guys so much. So that's it from here, taking you through the processing part of agriculture, taking you into the factory to experience, if you want to go into that sector, what it entails. I am Vivian Kai Loco. We'll see you again another time. Bye-bye.
Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kudo as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So if you learn one thing, you leave your shoes outside. Wow.
Tuesdays,
I won't go to Ghana dressed in a Lacoste.
As director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Caleb Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Welcome back. So I'm sure that after the conversation with Vivian Kailoko and the individuals as Sankofa Spices, now you know where you get your spices from and how the process is like. A lot of spices, because someone will say that I'm going to buy chicken spices, I'm going to buy goat, so you know where exactly is being done, and also what it goes through, the process and some of the challenges that these stakeholders are facing in the industry. This is all geared for the month of June, that we are learning a lot of things within the business space, and we are letting you to understand what it takes to run a business and what you need to know. Well, we are not leaving it there. We are bringing you the on-air edition of the City Business Festival. Mind you, this is the last week, so you'd want to pay attention, key attention to whatever will be thought here on the show, or whatever we taught here on the show. So today you're looking at the digital skills needed to survive in today's economy, and that will be done by Maximus Metogo, and me, Latte sits with his guests.
It's our final week of the honor series of the City Business Festival 2025, talking about the digital economy and technology, if you like. I am Ni Latte. Welcome to this particular episode. Yesterday we were talking about how fintech is changing the business landscape. The day before, it was really about understanding this whole concept of digital economy. Today we are talking about the skills needed, the digital skills needed actually for today's economy. My guest is Maximus Metogo. He is a digital strategist to help us with this particular topic. If you stay with us, we have more after this.
My name is Lydia Safwa. I'm from Safusco Ghana Limited. I'm the managing director for the company. I'll commend MasterCard Foundation and Absa Bank for the 10% loan for women-led businesses and agri-businesses, because this facility came in at the right time for Safusco. The facility helped us to get machinery for our detergent powder and other raw materials to help us come out with three products. That's the detergent powder, the African black soap, and the bleach. We were able to employ 15 youth in addition to our working force, and this has really helped boost our productivity and revenue as well. Annually, we organize the Global Hand Washing Day in schools within our vicinity. We hope to make sure that Safusco helps to combat diseases from the schools. We are trying to have volunteers within the school. Those volunteers will help make sure that the project is being sustained in the school.
As always, the 2025 City Business Festival is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV. We are sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana Limited, M10 Business, and Zondatech. And welcome to this particular episode. Maximus, a special welcome to you as well. Good to see you again.
Pleasure to see you again.
Last year we were talking about the digital economy. This year we are coming back with a different aspect of it, the digital skills needed for today's economy. But first and foremost, how have you been doing?
Yeah, not bad. Doing the usual stuff.
talking and training.
I see.
And offering digital services to clients.
You're a big man.
Oh, we are trying to be.
Because anytime we talk about technology, anytime we are talking about digitization and what have you, your name will always come up. And so grateful for the kind of good works you are doing in the space. And also anytime we call on you, you make yourself available for us.
University is family, so.
I know, right?
Yes.
I see. Let's start the conversation. Let's start the conversation in proper perspective. And first and foremost, tell us your own assessment of the digital, space. What is changing? What is improving? Where are we lagging behind? And what picture you see? Let's begin on this note.
Yeah. So the digital space keeps evolving and changing, and the number of users of internet keeps growing. Social media is also growing. So now it has become the #1 media online, where people spend most of their time there. So 7.9 million people are on social media platforms actively. And then we have 24.3 million internet users in Ghana. So the number keeps growing year on year. So for a business, it should be of interest to you that we have more people moving in that direction or who are living their life in the digital space. So if they are online, then your business too must also be present there to interact with them, engage them, and also sell your product to them. So you have to go there, and those are the trends. Now we have new platforms like TikTok coming up. Now it's not the most favorite social media platform in Ghana, and now #2 social media platform in Ghana after WhatsApp. So all these new trends are coming in. Influencer marketing is growing. AI is coming into the space. So people are generating content using AI and all that. So the trend is changing and evolving. And businesses are also jumping on board. Some doing it right, others needing help, and others are in the dark.
But how do all of these translate into the national economy? Because remember that our topic is digital skills needed for today's economy. And so with this foundation you've laid and all the good things you've spoken about, if you are to look at how it is transforming socio-economic development, what will you say to that?
So now you have, let me say, young people coming out of the university with their mobile phones, creating content on YouTube and making money from Google. So that's a new business that is growing, and people are making money. You have all these bloggers doing that. And we have young people also honing their skills in that space, and now they are employed by big corporate bodies, and they are implementing the skills they've developed on their own or trained for maybe an organization. So we have that trend also in the space. So the country is benefiting in a way, because all these guys are helping businesses to make more money, and they pay taxes to government, right? So that's how it's also helping. And we have remittances coming into Ghana because there's a fintech that is allowing people to terminate money on people's mobile phones directly. So they are sending money. So if your family member is sending you $200, it's not going to pass through a bank first for you to go and use your ID card to go and collect using a secret code. Now it terminates on your phone directly. So if the mobile money company needs to deduct whatever taxes government needs to deduct, they will do it directly on your phone.
I see, really fine point you're making there. But in today's business environment, or even the national economy, what would you say are the emerging digital tools that a lot of businesses are tapping into, and also the kinds of competencies needed for them to become competitive?
So now everybody is going social media. And everybody is going social media now, Facebook, X, now TikTok, WhatsApp, and the rest. And people are using WhatsApp in creative ways that we never even thought they could use the WhatsApp for. Churches are using it, NGOs are using it. And even our grandmothers are even using WhatsApp to communicate with us in local languages, using audio messaging and all that. So the trend keeps evolving and changing over time. And people are using the tools effectively now.
I see. But where do we begin from in terms of building the capacity, having the required skill set, and also the mindset shift?
And so is it right from the inception stage or somewhere in the middle of the business or when the business advances? That's where digital skills come to play.
Yeah, so for digital skills, I would say that whether you are starting a new business or you are an old business or an existing business, you need to think digital because your customers are online. So if you want to start a business, you have to think about how technology can enable your business grow faster and also optimize your delivery of service, right? So you can't say because you are new or you are an old business, you will not think about technology. Sometimes when I hear some companies saying they are not on social media, then I wonder, why are you not on social media, you know? And people are using your name there to defraud other people and tarnishing your image as a brand, and you say you don't want to be on social media. And it all depends on the understanding at the top level, whether we want to be a digital first company or we want to have digital as part of the tools or channels that we use to engage our customers. So the top level, the managers must understand the use and the need to use technology. Then the middle level, of course, they think about the best practices, how we can use it best. And then the lower managers or employees will implement the digital strategies that the top level people have developed. So if the top level do not understand it, it's always difficult implementing digital transformation strategy in a business.
So beyond this particular business growth and even equipping service delivery that you talk about, will you also say that if you have to look at it in a cost-benefit lens, this whole digital skills acquisition can also translate into, say, profitability and even the going concern of the business?
Yeah, so if you have a place to live, right, to put your head, you can start a business online, right? Create a social media account or create a website, run a business from your garage or your office, maybe your house in your corner in your living room because you have an online presence. So the key thing is the service you're offering, whether it's relevant to the customers you are targeting. That is number one. Then you use technology tools to do that. There's this story of a company called Wayfair. You know, they wanted to test how powerful search engines are. So what they did was they created a website called just parrotcages.com. They don't have any inventory or even one parrot cage. They just created a website. So if you need parrot cages, just go there and input your email addresses. Then they got a lot of people, you know, going to the website requesting for parrot cages. And then they went to talk to a parrot cage manufacturing company.
To do it for them.
To do it for them, and then they supplied it to the people who requested for it. They started from zero. Now they are also,
the heroes in the game.
Exactly, exporting and selling parrot cages. So you can start an idea even just by testing the waters, right? So they did that for a lot of other products. So you can, online gives you the opportunity to start a business at a very low cost, bottom line, right? If there's a salon or a fashion shop, retail shop in my area, I can say, okay, I want to put your business on my website. So I can start maxfashion.com or something. Take pictures of your products, put it online. And I say, okay, if your customers can just tell them, if you have a new arrival, it will be on my website. Then people go there, they place order, they pay you, I get my commission, we send the product to them via Uber or something. So we can start the business like that. So you become the middleman and you make money off the people who wants to go online.
Interesting point. But you know, a lot of people or businesses, I should say, have come to terms that digitization is one of the areas when it comes to changing the business environment and also ensuring that their businesses survive and thrive. But perhaps they lack the digital literacy needed for them to, you know, equip themselves in that regard. And so I'm asking, where does government come in terms of the digital literacy, in terms of support? Are we starting from the basic schools? Are we moving into the tertiary institution? Are we changing our curriculum? What exactly should we be doing if we really want to take full advantage of this whole, you know, space?
Yeah, so for me, from government level, it's policy. How do you design a policy that you can implement from whether the educational level?
I think this particular government has even introduced
so they have a coding. Of course, the coding is not just digital skills. Coding is more about programming, right? So digital skills encompasses a lot of other skills within the digital space. So if you are training people, at least the young people in the university, from maybe, you can even start from SS, they are already fidgeting with devices, they already understand how the platforms work in a way because they have personal experience of it. So we need to give them some training at the schools, maybe the various secondary schools and universities, have a program for them, expose them to the trends in the space so that they can develop some proficiency first, and then they can hone that proficiency into a skills, subsequently. So that even if they are going to look for a job and they say, do you have any digital skills, at least you have understanding how Facebook works, and then you can get a job and start, implementing that digital skills. So government needs to make it maybe a mainstream, or even the institutions. You not even need the government, because if you think it will add value to your students that you churn out, then you don't need government to even tell you to add digital skills to the skills that, or the education that you give to your students. The schools must see the need to add digital skills training to their curriculum to train their students to become better, employees later, or content or startup owners.
Wonderful point there. But our SME landscape is mostly informal.
Yes.
A lot of them, about
Exactly.
80% of them, if I'm correct, they are informal.
Yes.
And there are also formal businesses. But in your own estimation, which aspect of the SME space is fully taking advantage of this digitalization, and which area is lagging behind? And between the informal and the formal sector, how do each of these sectors, tap into the benefits of the digital? Because I don't think what works for a bigger company will work for a small company.
Exactly.
If you can really break down for us.
So for the smaller, the informal businesses, they use Momo, mobile payment, digital, money and payments for their business. Now people can buy products from them and they pay digitally. You don't need an accountant to do your books for you if you have your transfer going into your bank account directly. So it saves you some time there. If you need an accountant to do the books for you, right? So for a bigger company, they need an online presence. If you need an accountant to do the books for you, right? So for a bigger company, they need an online presence. You can't do online. They want to read about the content that you produce, the events that you organize. So for a bigger business, you need that website presence, a web presence for your business. Smaller companies, they need a website, and then they need the social media presence to complement the website. The website gives you the ability to interact in real time. So your website is just an online presence that you have, which authenticates your social media presence. So I always advise small businesses to always have a website before your social media pages, because people can use your fake account to defraud others. But if you have a website, they can always reference it. Go to the website, click on your account, and go to your official social media pages. So for those businesses, social media is for small businesses. Big companies are also using it, especially FMCGs, right? They need social media the more. Now we even have law firms who have social media presence, even though they are not supposed to advertise. Yes, at least you need to be present there, because some of your customers will be there to see your account, and maybe somebody will even recommend you to another client of theirs or a friend of theirs. So you need that. And then the digital tools like the mobile money, almost everybody has a mobile money account. Now almost every phone number can be a mobile money account, so you can receive payment or do transfers or make payments on it.
Very well. This is 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV. Still our honor series of the 2025 City Business Festival. My guest is Maximus Ametogo. He is a digital strategist helping us with the digital skills needed for today's economy. And what you just heard, or what we just spoke about, is just the foundation. He's telling us the general picture when it comes to why the digital space is so important and the kind of mindset shifts and skills that we need. But when we come back from this break, he will be going deeper and properly into the specific skill sets needed for this whole revolution. Stay with us.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in.
Red Hour receipt
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's
go to
coming.
the I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming! Oh,
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
You're welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here on 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV. It's our honor series of the 2025 City Business topic. Our topic, City Business Festival. Our topic, digital skills needed for today's economy. My guest is Maximus Ametogo, and he is here helping us really unpack this whole subject matter. So Maximus, we are going into the next leg of the conversation. It's a really quick exercise. I just want you to give me the specific skill sets needed in turning things around as a business with technology in mind, digitalization in mind, and also the national economy in mind. And so that's what we are going to do right about now. And so your first skill set will be...
Your first skill set will be communication.
Communication. Okay, take us away.
So communication is how you send message to your customers and also get feedback, right? So that's what we define communication. But the skill set you need will boil down to how you use emails, emails to communicate with your customers. Very important. So email marketing, you need to understand what email marketing is as a skill set, as a business tool. You need to understand that. Hone your skills in that space, how to even organize virtual meetings on Zoom or Google Meets and the rest, Google and the Teams, right? So you need to be able to communicate using that. And the newsletter, e-newsletter, instead of doing the usual printing of newsletters,
it's a thing of the past.
Yes. So now you have MailChimp and other email clients that you can use to create newsletters that you send to people's emails on weekly basis, monthly basis, or quarterly basis. And it comes with analytics to show you how many people received it, how many people opened it, how many people forwarded it to others, and the number of minutes they spent on each of them. So you need that. And the last one under communication will be engagement and interaction. You need to know how to interact with customers, right? On your WhatsApp channel, on your Facebook inbox, Messenger inbox, and all that. And then your emails, how to communicate with people.
So that's skill number one,
yes, communication.
Skill number two.
Two is content.
I see.
So the content comes to copywriting, one of my favorite subject areas. So copywriting is how to use words to sell, right? How to use words to communicate.
Own words,
your own words, yes, your own words to convince people. So if somebody wants to sell the nice shoe that Nii is wearing, how do you write a copy, that will sell the shoe? You are not just saying the price. You are not just selling the price, the benefits of the shoe, how you feel wearing the shoe. So people are gifted in how to craft these things. So you need to learn you need to hone some literary skills in how to write copies and all that. Then it comes to content production. So when they write a copy, somebody needs to translate it into tangible, visuals, audios, videos, and all that. So if you are a videographer or somebody who is good in photography, learn how to do digital photography. If you do videos, learn how to do digital video production, how to do reels and short videos for social media. You need to learn that.
I see.
Then audio too as well. How do you do your audio properly so that it becomes very audible and crystal, even on digital channels? Then after content production, you go to content distribution.
Still under content.
Under content.
After the production, you have to distribute.
You have to have the skills.
The right
when
channels.
do we post it? On what channel? What format goes on what channel? Every format, X is more text-based. Facebook is a mix of the format. YouTube is video primarily, right? So you need to understand that. And all of them have dimensions and resolutions.
So what works
you can't
for
go
X
and
will
produce
not
a
work for
vertical
Facebook.
video for a horizontal platform, right? So you need to understand all this when it comes to the content distribution.
Interesting.
Right,
points.
so that is for
So
content.
2 things you've said so far: communication, we have emails, analytics, and what have you. And then when it comes to content, you're talking about copywriting, production, photography, videography, audio editing, packaging all of it, and then distributing it. So where next do we go from there?
So for aside that, then you need to look at the content engagement. So when you post a thing, people come back and respond, make inquiries. Your video is nice, or I want to buy that shoe. How do you respond to it? There's a link to communication also there. You need to develop content to give feedback and in your comments and all that. So that's under content, right? Then we'll come to commerce.
Commerce, that's the third point.
Yes,
I
so
see.
Commerce is how do we sell, how do we monetize the channels, right? So, okay, we have 100,000 people, how do we make money?
Even as a business, you should think about monetization of your platforms.
Exactly. So if I'm sitting newsroom, I want to put some shopping tab on the website so that we can sell products there and collect commission from the businesses. Or charge those who advertise on our channel, put their products there and make some money. Because now you have traffic going onto your website. So if you have traffic, that is money. Attention is value on online platforms. That's what Facebook sells. They sell attention to brands. So Facebook users are not Mark Zuckerberg's products. In fact, Facebook users are his product, not the platform itself. Right? So they sell you to brands and they collect money from brands, because they get your attention to expose their products to them. So that's for commerce. So then if somebody wants to sell a product or a service, you have to learn how to sell a particular product and on which platform, whether mobile, email, search engine, e-commerce platforms and all that. You need to know how to sell on those platforms. The communication is just sending message, but selling is different from messaging.
I find this particular point very, very interesting because who would have thought that despite you selling what exactly you produce, you should also take advantage of, the kind of revenue streams available through any of the social media platforms. That's a really good one you make there, Maximus. Let's go to point number 4.
So
channels. Channels.
Yes.
Okay.
So now you need to specialize. If you can't do communication, you can't do content, you can't do commerce. Let me understand how the various channels work. So if you call me, I want to run a campaign that I will trend on social media, I will know which platform to recommend. If I want to target women between the ages of 19 and 35, I can recommend which platform. So you need to understand all the channels, like the way a media person will understand whether TV should do TV, radio, billboards. You also learn how to do online channels. So learn everything about website, emails, search engines, all the various digital channels. Just specialize in how they work and function. That is also a digital skill set that you need to have. And then the 5th one will be community building.
After we've done all the 4, you have to build your community.
Community building is very important. So
How
that's
do you
where
do
social
that?
networking comes in. Social media comes in. So social media is not about having the accounts, but the audience. Very important. It's about the audience, not just the account, right? So you go to social media to engage with your audience, not to just have an online presence. So that's why some people, they think about how many likes do we have. It's not about the likes. You have to check whether people like you
Actually
or not.
engaging.
Exactly. So you need to understand how to build community around your brand. How do we put our customers you know, pull our customers onto our own social media platforms or a WhatsApp channel. So if I enter your shop, I have a poster of your WhatsApp, or on your website, I have your social media links and email signature. You have all that there, your posters, your banners, billboard, complimentary card. They have all your social media accounts there because you want to build a community around your brand. It's very important. Social media, the audience you have belongs to you. TV, you rent the audience. Radio, you rent the audience, but social media, they belong to you. So you can push content to them anytime that you want.
Wonderful points. I think you came with 5 C's. That's how I see all of these. Because from whatever you've said, the 5 points, communication, content, commerce, channels, and community building. So if the person listening or watching is not taking home anything at all, at least these 5 C's should be at the back of their minds. And so if they are not doing all of these 5, what are they risking?
Somebody else is doing it, or somebody else will have that skills and they'll come for your job.
I see we are wrapping up, and so the final point is, if you are to advise or propose what we are likely to see in the near future, even at least between now and when we get to again sometime next year, what do you see as the biggest thing happening to the digital space?
So digital space, there will be a lot of move towards AI adoption.
Is it?
For content development, for conceptualization, product development.
Some people are scared already.
Now you can even design websites or app using an AI, you know, app development platform. So a lot of people are moving into that space. Now you can see those baby avatars being used. So now you can create a baby knee who will be reading news. You know, so those are the kind of content that we are moving into, and a lot of companies are going to adopt the use of AI for most of their services and as a digital tool. That's the trend I see. Of course, you have digital money also coming into that space. Cryptocurrency will come into it and all that. So, of course, it all depends on Bank of Ghana and regulation.
They are saying they are bringing the framework sometime in September this year. So we are really looking forward to it. But thank you so much, Maximus, for this particular educative and engaging conversation that you've come our way with on the kinds of digital skills needed for today's economy. Also part of our honor series of the 2025 edition of the City Business Festival, powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV. Our sponsors, Absa Bank Ghana Limited, MTN Business, and Zonda Tech. My name is Ni Lati. Thank you so much for your company. See you tomorrow.
All right, so there you have it. It was all about the digital skills needed to survive in today's economy, and it's all part of the City Business Festival on Air series, and that was brought to you by Ni Latte with his guest, who is a digital strategist. And I hope you learned a lot from that.
I did.
Yeah, I know you did, because you were so concentrated on it. Yeah,
I really learned a lot, and I think that from what Maximus has really taught, if you use it in your day-to-day activities, it's going to help you a lot, because this day and age, if you are not really advertising, or you are not within the digital space, you are not helping yourself as a business, even as a brand, even as an individual. So I think that if you didn't get a chance to really watch the entire thing, you met it halfway, go on YouTube, get it and watch, because you can't be doing business in the dark.
You can't be, you can't be doing business in the dark, especially with where we are right now and the introduction of AI in the system. If you don't even know the basics, and now AI has come, you have a long way to go. So it's important that we actually stay abreast with the trends and innovations that are coming up with technology, in as much as it looks cumbersome sometimes, and in as much as it looks in as much as it looks like, okay, these machines are coming to take our jobs. It's about, you know, just keeping up with the trend, and you can learn how to better yourself in everything that you are doing. It's like added value to whatever that you are doing. So like we said, this is the last week of the City Business Festival. well. And in case you have missed any of them, we have talked about the agriculture industry. We talked about the tourism
SMEs.
industry, the SMEs, so many things about business. All you need to do is, head back to our YouTube channel, and then you can get to watch everything right there. But tomorrow, again, we're going to still be coming with a fresh episode of that.
Actually, tomorrow is the last day.
Yes. So
tomorrow is the last day. So make sure that you are staying with us to really get the best out of what we've been sharing with you here from the month of, from 1st of June to the 30th of June. So the on-air series and all that, you should be able to pay attention to it. Mind you, someone who would actually just go in for the on-air series, and the next minute, the person is doing great in his or her business.
Yeah.
So you should pay attention.
I feel like everyone should really pay attention to it, because this doesn't come free. You understand? These are actually topics or, situations whereby you find yourself that you need to pay a consultant to actually tell you about this. But this is free right here on Channel 1 TV. And that's what we're bringing to you every morning on Breakfast Daily and also on radio at 9 a.m. So, just do well to go back to all the videos, and you can choose which industry that interests you, and then you can just watch any of the topics. But now it's time for us to check out our entertainment highlight of the day, and we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Ni Komete Kome, and this is powered by GhanaWeekend.com. Now let's get into our first highlight. Gospel musician Kofi Owusu-Pepra has revealed he resigned from Ghana's Bureau of National Investigations, now NIB, 4 years ago to pursue music full-time. In an interview on Hits FM, he said he was forced to choose after receiving a query letter while at a studio interview, citing a conflict between his public music profile and the agency's confidentiality ethics. Known for hits like Yesu Nyamemba and Big God, Pepra is now fully focused on his ministry and is preparing for a major gospel concert on August 17, 2025 in Accra. Now to our next highlight. Award-winning Ghanaian-American filmmaker Leila Jansi has sharply criticized Ghana's film industry, calling it a crime scene plagued by envy, sabotage, and clique-based support systems. In a Facebook post, Jansi contrasted Ghana's toxic creative culture with Tyler Perry's model of community-driven success in the US. She lamented how Ghanaian filmmakers often reward support based on personal allegiance rather than merit, and recounted personal experiences of being met with jealousy despite offering help. Jansi called for a shift towards authenticity, unity, and service in Ghana's film space. Now to our next highlight. Ghanaian actress Fela Makafui is set to premiere her new movie Sewa on YouTube this Friday, June 27, 2025, featuring her ex-husband, Medical, and dancehall star Shatta Wale. The film, a spin-off from the YOLO series, originally debuted on the Farmhouse Productions app in 2023. The release comes over a year after Makafui and Medical's high-profile divorce. Despite past tensions, the two reunited professionally for the project. Makafui, who also stars in the movie alongside Clemento Suarez and Fahim Dumba, teased the trailer on Instagram, drumming up anticipation.
Make who?
Make us.
Good morning from this beautiful girl.
Goodness. Mercy.
Goodness.
Mercy.
When I not be with you.
Hey, perfect. Hey, who found Mr. Baba, bro?
Who found Papa Super Baba?
Now to our next highlight. Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Ruga has opened up about the lack of genuine friendship in the country's music industry. Speaking on the Stanley Agu Show, the singer revealed that most relationships are purely transactional, with artists typically having no more than 2 real friends. Ruga expressed regret over not learning this earlier in his career, warning that once an artist can no longer offer value, many associates tend to drift away. Now to our last but not the least highlight. Joycelyn Savage, fiancée of jailed singer R. Kelly, has publicly denied her family's claims that she is being held against her will. In a video message, Savage insisted she is not a victim or sex slave and expressed frustration with what she called lies told by her relatives. She confirmed her decade-long relationship with Kelly, their 3-year engagement, and hopes to start a family. Her family, represented by attorney Gerald Griggs, say they have not had contact with her in years. R. Kelly remains in prison following multiple convictions, including racketeering and child exploitation.
For the past 6 years. Just 3 years ago, I proposed to Robert and he said yes. And we are planning on getting married and having a family, and I'm very excited about that. But anyways, I just want to come out here and let you guys know to please do not believe the lies that my mother and father are coming out here saying about me and Robert. I am not held against my will. I am not a sex slave. I am not brainwashed or any of those crazy lies that were told on me. And I just want Robert to get the righteous justice that he deserves, because he deserves to be free. Enough is enough. I'm tired, and he's tired as well. So I just want you guys to continue to please pray for him. I'm praying for him. I believe that he will be out soon. I have hope. And just, you guys, please, just do not believe the lies, because enough is enough. It's been 6 years, and I'm just tired. I choose not to call my mother and father because I do not want to talk to them. I have a cell phone, and I choose not to call them. So I'm a grown woman, and if I decide not to call them, that's my choice. And it is what it is. So once again, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm in love, and I'm good. So thank you guys for listening. Have a great day. Bye.
Now let's check out Channel 1 TV's Top 10 Countdown.
This is the Channel 1 Countdown.
Number 10. Number 9.
Matina wache, pemina minche. Matina wache, jeje meso mepe. Ade, ade, ade. Ane, ade. Osa, osa, na wana neba.
Number 8. Number 7.
Asoiko, 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 asoiko.
Number 6.
I know few reason on my mind to fail me. Me drink the wine that drive me crazy, cause it really pay me. Oh my days, somebody still my days.
Number 5.
I need some help. Put my head on fire can't cool. My head on fire can't cool.
Number 4.
Tell me what I'm going to do.
Number 2.
Just another guy. If I could, you wouldn't tell me to sacrifice it all. But I'm just another guy, just another guy. If I could, you wouldn't tell me.
Number 1.
DJ please turn up the bass to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max. 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 Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
Caribbean girl, me know for tick, me know for top. Yeah, man, I watch my body like say them, I watch a match.
This is the Channel 1 Countdown.
Now that will be it for entertainment highlights on Breakfast Daily, powered by GhanaWeekend.com. Stay with Ghana Weekend for more updates on your favorite celebrities, events, and everything pop culture in Ghana and beyond. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at Ghana Weekend, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ghana Weekend TV. My name is Ni Komite Kome.
All right, there you have it. That's our entertainment highlight of the day. Right now, we want to take you back to, the celebration that we started this month, and it's all about our 7th anniversary. And as you all know, this is the last week of June, and yeah, so we just want to, give you that feel of how it has been for us, the journey so far till date. And Philip, are you excited about it?
I'm excited. 7 years in the industry. It just looks like we've been already 20 good years in the industry. So we will bring you this after, bring you the goodwill messages from some prominent persons in our society, among other things. So enjoy.
In the heart of Ghana's media landscape, a vision was born. Bold, independent, and unrelenting in its pursuit of truth and empowerment. This is the story of Channel One TV. This is the journey so far.
Channel One TV came about as a result of a deep conviction to recreate the channel of dissemination of information. It wasn't just about broadcasting, it was about engaging, it was about telling the stories that matter in our communities and to our communities. And so once we saw the gap, we put ourselves together to create this wonderful channel. Adabraka was our first home where it all began. Modest beginning, but I must say full of ambition. And, it became the birthplace of our ethos and our whole package of integrity, courage. But it got to a point that, the expression of the vision became a bit enormous, I must say, and we needed a bigger place to contain the new direction of this project. So this would take us away from Adabraka, and it eventually landed us at Tesano, where we operate now.
In 2023, the station underwent a transformation, rebranding to Channel One TV. More than a name, it was a renewed commitment.
Channel One TV represents something more than a TV channel. It's leadership, it's inspiration, and it's engagement. And we have captured all these into a slogan telling your story empowering change. But we also do not just limit this to a slogan. The slogan also has become our mission. We tell your stories, but we don't just end there. We empower change, and it's our lifestyle.
Every story we tell is a reflection of our society. We don't just report, we engage, whether it's politics, culture, or community development. We are here to inform and to inspire.
Our newsroom is built on credibility and courage. Over the years, we've broken important stories and covered major national events with balance and depth. Journalism is about trust, and we've worked hard to earn that.
From building strong partnerships to creating innovative revenue models, our growth has been strategic. We've collaborated with both local and international partners to sustain our mission and expand our influence.
Our events have amplified voices and catalyzed change. From our fairs, parties to national policy dialogues, we've created platforms that make a difference by driving the Ghana agenda whilst engaging our viewers.
We curate programs that reflect our identity: bold, intelligent, culturally grounded. You know what? Storytelling is our craft, and we take it very seriously.
Behind every broadcast is a team of producers, editors, and engineers who make it happen. Tech indeed is the backbone. My team ensures we stay on air and ahead of the curve.
It's people first here. We build talent, support growth, and nurture creativity.
Work behind the scenes matters. Policies, logistics, daily management. We are the silent engine.
Channel 1 gave me a voice and a chance to grow as a journalist.
Every story we tell has the power to make a difference. That's what motivates us.
We've turned ideas into revenue
and partnerships into progress.
Seven years on, the journey continues. From Adabraka to Tesano, from a dream to a national voice, Channel 1 TV remains committed to telling your story and empowering change. This is our story. This is Channel 1 TV.
The way to go with media
in the world, across the world now, is not just the FMs and airwaves. The development includes the video, the vision aspects. And also we are into the digital age. So it's not surprising that you now talk of Channel One as part of the evolution of the development of the City FM. And I wish you very well. You should do everything to stay abreast with the rapidly changing technologies and developments globally, because the world is shrinking under the rapidly changing technologies. Well, we learn of the disinformation, misinformation, which I believe are not good things for the stability and proper development of human societies. Truth should still, I believe, be the core of the business of trying to inform people for development. So I would urge that the media population should be well trained ethically. I was going to say morally, but that perhaps might move even into religion. But ethically, you should be very professional, and that your training should try to focus on professionalizing the reportage, which should be central to your business. And you should also know that the world is also very fast opening up, very fast opening up across the board. It's like one globe, what happens here is instantly recorded to the farthest end of the planet. So on that basis, competitiveness, it should be the order of the day, but on, as I say, truth, not on so much on sensationalism. I tend to believe that your field is perhaps the fastest way to impart knowledge and to help open up the brain, the intelligence of humanity. So even as I talk with you, I'm part of a project which I hope will come up acceptably in the nearest future. It's about a project we call the Africa Public Interest Media Initiative. We've been working at it for the past 5 years. And centrally, we've been trying to help through the media to make our continent, Africa, tell a story to the rest of the world. So far, it's been outside world telling about Africa. And unfortunately, it hasn't told it in objective and truthful way. When they report, even when they've got something good to report about, they always make sure there's some sting in the tail, as they say, about Africa being poor, being full of conflicts and disease and poverty and that sort of thing. We've got so many positive things to tell about our continent and about ourselves. So we take a respected niche in the global context as Africa and as the peoples of Africa. And we can do that fastest through the media. So I think the media community should have this at the also back of their minds and consciences, so Africa can tell the story appropriately. I congratulate you. Channel One sounds new to me, but I'll take you back to the days of City FM. Those times, my friend Nika Matefio, Ata Mensa, was a virtual son, They were the people I sort of linked with, and I always take pride in telling people I was there at the launch of City FM, which has now matured to have its own television stations, including Channel 1. So I wish you very well, great success, mature to the forefront of the media community to impart information, entertainment, positive reportage, shun off misinformation, disinformation, which might lead to negative ends that shouldn't be the objective of your efforts. So I wish you very well.
And of course, we couldn't have done this without you. We are grateful that you've stayed with us from the first year to the 7th year, and you're going to stay with us for the rest of the period that we will be here as Channel 1 TV. Well, that's how we wrap up today's edition of Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. But before we go, a happy birthday to Caleb Kuda, the co-host of the Breakfast Show on City 97.3 FM, and also the host of Backpage. Brah, I will just say that may he enjoy the day, and we will meet him in the newsroom. My name is Philip Nilate. I did this with Chris Carter earlier. Nana Tufo started with the guest. Make sure that you stay with us here and enjoy the rest of our programming. Keep watching Channel 1 TV.